Welcome to a special edition of Make We Talk on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, where we're watching and listening from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. We have our distinguished panel this evening. The man in the wilderness, Wayne Lonesome. Mr. Wilfred Radigan, former FBI agent, attorney, outlaw, and talk show host. You see the zinc fence behind him? That's where he comes from. He never forgot his roots. We're going to be joined by Mr. Herb Nelson Jr. And we're also going to be joined by a special guest. Hopefully he comes on. He promised us faithfully. Mr. Lonesome and Mr. Ratigan, did you hear the budget speech of the Minister of Finance this evening?
You know, sir, I was on the road, doing some things, and someone, a good friend of yours, sent me it, so I never get to listen it yet.
Yes.
I don't get to listen it yet. But them send me, but something catch my eyes, right? Because I saw the finance minister signing a paper. Yeah. And signing a paper with some block from in UK.
Yeah, I think what he signed is a paper giving them, for them to come in and help investigate the SSL saga.
So hold on. So it wasn't, they never identify a firm from in the US already, plus the FBI. Or them signing thing with people from UK now. You may understand that.
That is blatant politics, my brother.
Eh? And then doing a photo app.
Yes.
With people standing up and them signing something like but I don't know what kind of deal. What's that for?
You know something, Sir Wayne. We live in a society where we can't believe anything a politician tell us, Because as far as I'm concerned, they lie on Monday, they lie on Tuesday, they lie all over the time. And they're lying to the people of this country pertaining to the whole SSL thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he said he has a $10.2 billion for the rank and file officers of the JCF.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if he has that amount of money for the JCF, let's hope, because he said, that the money must be given out in March this year, 2023. Now, based on what we are hearing, I think the rank and file officers is saying that they won't take what they're giving them. Now, is it that they won't take it, or is it that the minister is saying something different in the parliament and in the wage negotiation with him? He's saying something different. Mr. Rattigan?
Yeah, run it by me again. I was just responding to a bunch of people sending me messages here.
Oh, well, you can send out the link that you're on. I was saying that based on the minister's utterance in the parliament today, as a matter of fact, let I play the clip, make you hear what he said. Let I play this clip to make you hear what he said, because based on what he's saying and based on what we're hearing from the rank and file, we're trying to figure out if what the minister is saying makes any sense. Let me find the thing here and play it. Bear with us here. We're trying to find the speech of the minister himself.
$10.2 billion. That is how much, on top of what they have received already for this year, that is how much is in the budget, Madam Speaker, for them to receive in March, if, Madam Speaker, we can come to some agreement or arrangement. $10.2 billion. Now, Madam Speaker, There was a previous 10 billion that never went through. I say, Madam Speaker, to rank and file members of the police force, please allow us to pay you the $10.2 billion that we have for you. Madam Speaker, there's an additional $1 billion for district constables and $600 million for members of the Police Officers Association. That's $11.8 billion that is ready to go. Madam Speaker, the total amount that we have for teachers is approximately $12 billion that we have, is budgeted for, is provided for. It sits waiting for you, Madam Speaker, if you just give me the permission, Madam Speaker, through agreement to give it to you. We have $12 billion that we want to get to the teachers of Jamaica, Madam Speaker, and I appeal to you.
He has $10.2 billion for the rank and file of the JCF.
Make a break down some fire.
Yes, go ahead.
Disingenuous of the finance minister. Because the last time we heard them want to come up with this 4%. What them do now is get up the money, yeah, and come and put it in a wag, and that's a 10.5, but how much percentage you're gonna get on your pay? Maybe it work out back to the same 4% or 3%. But the people them reject already. So when you put it in one, you have to about nearly 15,000 people workers there, you know. Yeah? So when you put it in one, you say, oh, 10 pints, so it's so enough. Oh, you have 10 pints, you understand what I'm saying, Ratty? It's no, break it down and make we know that means if you did get 100,000 as a constable, and him come with 4%. 4% of 100,000 are what? 4 grand? 4 grand.
Yes.
So 104,000. You know, I make no money. When they put it together, hey, them can use them head. Hey, remember said, them can use them head run up and we, you know. Them are going like the people, them are that. And them do it with the nurse them too. Oh, we have 23,000 nurses, you know. Them can 23,000 nurses and doctors and who are work and other people around there. So when you put it in the health system, around 23,000 workers them have. So when you put it on there and say, we have 12 billion, we want to know the percentage what them get from them pay. So when you bungle it up like that, it's so like, whoa, we want to take it because that, no, disingenuous.
Yeah. You see what happened with when you have a budget speech like this is they give you a cumulative number. That's what Lone Summer said. Them give you a big number, but when you break it down individually and say, okay, how much each person will make, you understand that it's a minuscule number because $4,000 more per year pay. If you have a family, if you already have suffer and you have a family of like I said, 4, you know, a policeman and then wife and 2 children, $4 grand now will really go far. It's not gonna really go far. So when him say all of them things, and then him don't take in another thing him don't take into consideration is inflation. Him don't take that into consideration. So what 4,000 could I buy last year, it'll buy less this year. So them don't factor that. What him should do is have a scale for inflation and say, okay, as inflation rises, then your pay scale will that will make sense, you know. But when you say, okay, it's a flat rate, it's here, like them give you 9 grand right now, and the inflation rate go up, your 9 grand is spending power where it had before inflation go up by a fraction of a percent. Not the spending power again.
You don't have it. It's not the spending power.
So that's what we should have talked about. We should have talked about inflation, livable wage, and spending power.
That is it. So that's why we say, you know, we could start create some jobs and do some things that we can export and make the money. Make the money stop the value. because the more it devalue and then it lose it lose the value, then you know say money now have no value. You import things with US with value more, so you look up here where you have it out of for not, brother. It no make no sense. 4 grand or 5 grand and nothing. Pan your pay. Remember, you know, your gas if you drive. Remember your light bill. Remember your water weight. Remember the food. Remember if you send the kids them go to school.
And
everything
rent.
gone up. And I want the thing. It don't make no sense, brother.
But you know something, Mr. Rattigan and Mr. Lonesome. I wanted to play that clip I gave to you because I think it's a leak audio. That was when Corporal Ron James having the meeting with the rank and file officers. Oh Lord, what happened to Mr. Lonesome? We have lost Mr. Lonesome.
No, he'll be back.
We have lost Mr. Lonesome. We're gonna have him back in a moment. But what I was talking about is the it was a meeting that was held at Elliston Road with the rank and file officers, and they literally was in ad with the chairman of the Police Federation, Sir Ron James. You know, and the question is the beg to ask the question: is it really the wage package that they were discussing? Is it that they decide not to take it because they knew what was in it? And why the minister comes to the parliament today begging them to take it, Mr. Rattigan?
1 second, I'm trying to get
Okay. Well, we're speaking about the $10.2 billion wage package given by the government of Jamaica to the rank and file officers of the JCF. Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
Well, let's watch, wait, and see what the chairman of the Police Federation has to say, because it strikes me as being odd that they've been engaged in negotiations for quite some time now. And for the minister to come out and make these statements concerning financial support to support that will be provided to the police, and yet we didn't hear anything from the Police Federation chairman, it just strikes me as being rather odd. It sounds like this is a number that they didn't agree on, and the minister just said, anyway, I'm just going to go out and just make my announcement, and then basically they kind of force him to come to the table to deal with it. But the problem now is that they have, you establish, I don't know if the number that the minister outlined, if that number is the baseline, I really don't know. So we just have to watch, wait and see, because it's going to be interesting. And it's not just the police, it's also the fire.
All right, good.
So it's fire, it's nurses, teachers, and there's one other group, corrections
yes, correctional officers, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, make a play the thing, Jeffrey, because before I get disconnected a while, I don't know what happened. We can just play this. Hold on.
James, at a meeting, the compensation packages from the government.
They are seeking to say that they are guaranteeing a 20% increase, but it will be spread over 3 years. Sufficing to say, it is the clearest that they have said to us that they are tying us to what they have signed to within the other public sector groups. Now, colleagues, simple put, what they have given us, it is what we have been grappling with, and we have been saying to them, it is not wise to take this to the members when in fact we are going to be worse off, and the anomalies that we have identified, it is there staring us in the face. You see, because we are not actuaries, the minister doesn't know who is behind the scene assisting us and guiding us. I am not going to sacrifice any member of the constabulary force before that I walk away, leave you, because I'm not sacrificing a soul. Those who want to sell you after you are sacrificed.
Chairman, and a point of order.
Mr. Rowe, sit down.
Chairman.
Mr. Rowe, sit down.
Chairman. Chairman, point of order. Point of order.
Mr. Rowe.
Point of order.
Mr. Rowe. Why should I refer to the General Secretary? Let me hear your point of order, Mr. Rowe. Mr. Chairman. Colleagues, please. Let me hear Mr. Rowe. Yeah, acknowledge. Even though you already prejudiced my point of order, Chairman, by telling me you don't want to hear from me. So I hope you can rule appropriately on this point of order because you're obliged to take my point of order once I have raised and said point of order. You should stop speaking and allow me to speak. Those are the rules. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rowe, you are no, Mr. Chairman. I will have seen. So hold me an apology. I apologize, sir. The rules said that you have to hear from me. Yeah, man, I'm hearing from you, Mr. All right. So, Mr. Chairman, what I'm saying to you, the point of order is, yes, the point of order is, again, you made the point that the finance minister of finance wrote to you to say that they are guaranteeing that at minimum everybody will at least get a 20% increase on salary and nobody will be worse off. That is what you read. And then after you read it, you went into a statement to say that members will be worse off and to make statement against what is being proposed. And I'm saying to you, Chairman, it never in the history of the Police Federation since 1944 have the Federation dictated to member what the position is. We are at mandate, and the members... Mr. Chairman, allow me to finish my point of order. No. The members give the mandate, and the Federation follow the mandate. I am sharing here, Mr. Rowe. Government, which is our employer, is saying to us, simple put, we don't deserve to be compensated similar to even our officer corps. And for that reason, I do not intend to sacrifice a soul. Government must pay for the service. I will work for the service where you can pay for. Simple put. And that is what I simply want to say to you. Over the years, we have caused ourselves to be placed in a compromised position. So much so that our Minister of Finance can be speaking as if we are mendicants at the table, telling who and who him doing favor for. Yes. But guess what happened, colleagues? I am not going there with a guy, because a guy can't find for me. All I'm simply saying, pay the police for what they are entitled to in service to the people of Jamaica. The tax dollar must speak for the service that is in protection of the citizen. The risk associated with the profession is far too great for us to compromise at this time. You are changing the relativity. That's your language. But all we are simply saying, you have determined that a compensation review is necessary. We have no objection to that. But to put aside what is a legal position that law has captured and for what the court has deemed to be recognizable, for a position that is not secured because the minister has made it very clear that he is uprooting the existing laws and provision, I cannot move the membership to a position of uncertainty. If it's an improvement over the previous hour, the basic salary still reflect the same. It's a simple question, Mr. Chairman. Simple question. Allow me to answer. The figures when you analyze this, the figures overall, it appears to bring you back to square one. It appears to be what, sir? An improvement, but it still brings us back to square one. So all right, sir. So it brings us back to the final thing that is on the list. It appears to be an improvement, but it brings you back to square one. Mr. Chairman, you received the document at 10:17 p.m. last night. Right. And based on between last night and now, you're saying that the committee analyzed the document and it appears to the committee that it seems to be an improvement when they bring it up to the same level. What kind of analysis is that? It just sounds like there is, I acknowledge that there is an improvement, Mr. Morgan, but it is nowhere near to where we have identified because we are not where we are supposed to be, Mr. Morgan. It is as if we want to. Calm down, Mr. Chairman.
Rank and file members of the JCF.
Wow.
You know, you sit and you listen to this. Is it that the chairman of the federation saw something on that document when he said it is there, but it is not there in a sense? Yeah, you remember what he said, Mr. Rattigan? There's a part when he said that, as if he's saying what they're putting together bring us back to the same amount of money we're supposed to get.
And make her explain something to you. So when they put on other money there and say them put it on, the taxes alone and some other things, so it came back to square one for two. So him know what I'm talking about. So even if you come and say, I could just tweet up this, but then them take it back in a tax and take back something on they say, we really, them not put on nothing on it. Them just use them head. Yes.
I think what should have happened, but apparently the document that he received and the limited time within which he had to review it and come before his membership, that was a hurdle. I think what he has to do is exactly what Lonesome is saying, is that he must break it down to them individually, because when the government makes a statement that it guaranteed 20% over 3 years, and it doesn't include all the other factors, like you said, taxes, inflation, and all those things, right? Then it misleads people, and so I can understand why Mr. Rowe would have a question about it, saying, "Well, how come it says that it's an improvement, and now you're saying it's not an improvement?" Right. The document says it's a guaranteed thing for. So now somebody has to educate Mr. Rowe. And when I say educate, I don't mean like he's an idiot or anything like that. I just mean that somebody has to get granular with him, define all the terms, right? Because all the terms are referenced, they're not there. So I think what's going to happen now is that the chairman now has to sit down now and go over it and then break it down to an individual and say, okay, Mr. Rowe, here's what you're making now. Here's what is proposed to you over the next 3 years. Now, include the taxes, include the inflation, include all the other things. This is what you're going to be making. It will be no different than what you're making here. So what we should be arguing for is the better package that they've given to other sectors of the private sector. That's what he's saying. He's saying, treat us like how you treat the other people, and there should be, because at the end of the day, whenever there is a problem, and there's always a problem, there's always a crime problem in Jamaica, nobody's calling a teacher. Nobody's calling a doctor. Nobody's calling a corrections officer. They're calling the police, right? The police are the ones on the street patrolling with whatever vehicles they have and whenever they can. And so I can understand where he's coming from, saying, no, we need a better package. We should be treated fairly and similarly to the other people that the other civil servants. And the thing about it is that you don't hear anybody saying no, they shouldn't be treated that way. Yeah, I haven't heard that. But yes. I'm kind of surprised though that you don't have more people like civil society, PSOJ, faith-based organizations saying that, hey,
they're not good enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I don't hear them coming out saying that no, the police should get a wage structure, or their wages should be based on the same structure that you use for the other people.
For parliamentarians, the same wage structure they use for the parliamentarians, and even better.
I'll tell you how much a parliamentarian make. I think the last time they make right now a parliamentarian makes approximately. Hold on 1 second.
If you're just joining us, we're speaking about the compensation package for the rank and file officers of the JCF. Is the government doing the people of this country an injustice by paying the rank and file officers of the JCF Will it money?
Yeah, they make a parliamentarian makes approximately, this is just salary, $2,600 US a month, which comes up to I think 390,000
Jamaican dollars, yes.
Jamaican dollars, right? And the minimum wage is what, 60,000? Is that it?
No. So 939.
Oh, 9,000. Yeah.
9,000. Yes.
Yeah.
9,000 per week.
Yeah.
So with the amount of 36,000, if somebody for make, and them I make nearly 400,000. Plus them have other benefits.
Yeah, them have benefits. Some have car allowances, and them have
Yes,
this allowance, that allowance. Some have other allowances.
But you know what funny though? Or the government can take up a company like with them sell out already, like Jamaica Public Service, right? And you give them a go ahead, make them peg the public service to the dollar. And every year them look at increase and them get increase from the OUR. Every year, always peg to the dollar. So them now have nothing to lose. You pay back for the oil, yeah? The equivalent of the dollar. Then you have to pay for the electricity. And it pegged to it, It pegged to it.
But
But the police, when they handle them like this, they might make the killing.
Start to be cutting you like this.
Yes.
But you know, Wayne, this deal was signed under the People's National Party government,
I know.
Under the same youthful exuberance minister from East King, Port Royal.
One of the worst
Port Royal.
One of the worst deal. Yeah, man.
So the fact of the matter is, as I said on my program this morning, that if the PNP don't come with something different, we're drifting off from the conversation we're having. If the PNP don't come with something different, in the sense of saying to the people of this country, if we should get back in as government, we are going to reduce your electricity bills by providing solar energy. We're going to make sure that digital and slime, digital and slime, that's digital and lime.
Yeah, man. Slime.
Stop ripping off the people of this country by giving them no service at all. But every month you have to pay for different internet service. Do you know how many people in Jamaica who is getting limited amount of internet service from the two providers? And the OUR does nothing about it.
Not on them, but even the water commission, people are paying for water. But you're not getting the water. People are getting over $1 million bill. $3 million water bill, impossible. Residential home.
And if the governments, successful governments truly love the people of our country, they would provide a basic need as water. They would have built a water reservoir. They have wasted billions and billions of dollars doing all sorts of nonsense. I want to come to the basic commodity they can't give to the people of Jamaica. We have water all over Jamaica, spring all over Jamaica. What they're doing it? They're buying up for them friends and their cronies to sell water to the people.
So you want me to suggest, Jeffrey? So like some of them rivers that run through the hilltop and all kind of things. If them could have, some of them rivers that them can dam them, electricity train and everything, and it still come down because you just want the turbine, the generator, them for spin and the water still flow come down. You understand? And then you get electricity way cheaper. Yeah? Cleaner and cheaper. Yeah, and help out the people them the way, man. Dam up some of these things. I think them have one in a St. Elizabeth down, don't it? Yes.
Yes. And what they can do, since they love to borrow from their Chinese friend and allow their Chinese friend to build the Ministry of Foreign Affairs building downtown Kingston, where you have bug all over the place. You have news bug, shit bug, all kind of bug.
And the stink bug too.
And the stink bug too. Ask them to build a power plant in this country. And you take your time pay them back. If you truly love the people, yes, we're going to be in debt. But the fact of the matter is we can't continue every year we have a drought in this country. Every year, the breadbasket parish don't have anything to water the crops to give us. Yet they're talking about we must eat what we grow.
But look Jeffrey, you look at Black River and all those rivers, right? Black River, you said long? You see much water run go waste in the sea? Never dry yet. Our St. Elizabeth run out of water. But you still have so much rivers that run through the whole place. Oh.
I don't know, my brother. And this evening, the world-class Minister of Finance, because him take over from Omar Davis, you know. He's now the world-class Minister of Finance. He's telling the people of Jamaica that they're going to import sheep, goat, and pig to start, make sure them breed up in Jamaica. So we shall have to hang and goat in the country. Mr. Rattigan?
Well, look, I was watching the speech, and to be frank with you, I got bored because I didn't hear him say my favorite words. I didn't hear him say logarithm. I didn't hear him say algorithm. And I didn't hear him say tropical rhythm. And I was waiting for him to say something like that so that it would, I would be enthused about listening to him. But I listened to him for a bit. And at the end of the day, with all the fancy speech, with him saying that Jamaica is the only country that's doing this, Jamaica is top 5 doing it, Jamaica is this, Jamaica is that. It's utopia, the way them describe Jamaica. Jamaica have no problems the way them describe Jamaica. And I have to ask one question. People back here, so. People from Rockfort, from Waterhouse, back to Tivoli,
yes.
Right, them place there. And all of the garrisons them are country, including places which parts of my relatives live. People from them places. I'm asking you one question. Well, actually, I'm asking 2 questions. You understand what I'm saying today in my speech? Well, like, when you tell me, just explain to me if you understand everything when I'm saying in the speech, because I must speak English and Jamaica, everybody in Jamaica understand English, right? So I want to tell me if you understand. Number one, if you understand what I'm saying and the impact it have on you, right? And then number 2 is this. Tell me how no life better since this man take over as Minister of Finance, right? Our own life better over the last 2-3 years. How? Tell me if no life better. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, tell me how the life will get better. Because I'm telling you, I hope when the life get better. But I don't think it's going to get better. I'm hoping and praying because we don't want to see no suffering at Jamaica.
No.
We don't want to see no suffering because when you suffer Jamaica, we, the Jamaicans living abroad, we suffer too. Because we are one blood. We're one blood. And them say, them say mankind is like 6 degrees of separation. Well, all of we in Jamaica, we're probably about 3 degrees of separation. What are we related? If you go back and check it. Right? We don't want to see no suffering in Jamaica. None. But based on what I'm hearing, there will be suffering. There will be suffering. And keep this in mind. There will be suffering and there will be killings. There will be killings. And to kind of like reflect on what a good friend of ours came on the program and said recently. When the GDP dropped by 1%, we are Jamaicans. We're resilient. We know how to tighten our belt. We know how to, full of stomach with little. We know how to do that, and we neighborly. We neighbor because I come from this neighborhood where people look out for each other. We're poor, but we look out for each other. But so when the GDP drop like 1%, or a percentage point, or 1%, nobody now go dead, but that might cause people to commit certain criminal acts, right? Because people have to go out now and try to feed them family and things like that. So the GDP by itself dropping now killing anybody, but the effects of it is that people are going to start the things now when normally them probably wouldn't even consider doing. And when the murder rate go up by 1% or percentage of a percent, then people are not coming back. So I want to keep this in mind, I'm not telling Jamaican people. I want to keep this in mind. When them people are drop down, when them rub out them people are not coming back. The GDP, it can go up and down, and we're going to tighten our belt and we'll make things happen. But murder rate is something else. And notice something recently. I noticed something that them start brag and boast about the murder rate being minus 23% and this and that and that. It seems to have a good friend of mine who's listening right now. Good friend of mine from Portmore who's listening right now. Who, when COVID started, and the Miami Herald wrote up this glowing piece about how Jamaica is doing. Jamaica is a leader in terms of how they're controlling COVID. Mr. Tim said, think about COVID as a marathon. Don't think about COVID as a sprint. And that's what I'm doing right now. And me live to see him come and say, boy, you're right, you know. You're right. And that's the same thing with me I'm telling the people. Just trust me. I don't know profit, but people tell me, say, if me stay one more day in my mother belly, I don't know what I become. Right? Because I'm not telling you right now, say, the speech what the man gave, that speech there, it have nothing to do with, you know. This speech have to do with the IMF. This speech have to do with the World Bank. What this speech is about is how them are going to use austere measures, you know, fiscally tight measures to satisfy some of the requirements where they have to make to pay back some of the money.
You know what that mean, though?
Make loan. That's what this is. So Jamaican people, that speech, they are not for UNO.
But Ratty, you know what that mean, though? If them are tighten up belt and everything, that mean a more hardship on the people then, because when IMF come and put on feed them kind of, you know, draconian kind of measures where them want, because them just lend them 1.7 billion, you know. But them say them just use it for the stop up any little thing, you know. And you know, I pay it back for 30 years. That means our great grandparents have to pay it back or something, right?
Right.
Yeah. So IMF I come in and tell you how to run this and how to run this and tighten up your bill. Don't pay them, you know. You can't pay them. Cut some of them staff here to, by the way, and go on this and do this. So you know, say hard measures that can come down upon the people in Jamaica. We not ask, we sure right. And as I say, Ratty, them like run off now a march and love run off and say this and that. No, we not count murder rate and them thing there till the year done. It happened last year. And them run out in January and them say the same thing. Blap, 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 blap. And when you're done, them have 1,498 murder upon them. It increase from the year before. Enough time increase from the year before. You understand? So we not follow them. We not follow them. But me I tell you, it's a dread upon the people them at Jamaica. Yeah? With the IMF money when them go borrow now, and them have and the measures they are put in place. We're sorry for them. Yes, man. Yes.
And right now, they refuse to pay the major groups in this country a proper wage. The teachers and the police, the rank and file police officers.
And nurses too.
And nurses. And the doctors.
And the fireman.
And fireman. and what the whole public sector worker, because you know them not pay nobody, you know.
But
pay themselves.
But yet he announced that there is a rehabilitation. What do they call it? No rehabilitation. A new park gonna build on the waterfront downtown Kingston. Gonna cost $1 billion US.
What? So which part downtown Kingston? Which part downtown Kingston can build a park about cost $1 billion US? The land is a park, so you put up two little thing in it. Oh, it can cost $1 billion US. Me don't know. Because me know how downtown Kingston stay. You can just visualize the place. Where you could have built this for $1 billion, that are 150 billion, you just tell me about it, Jeffrey. 150 billion Jamaican, you just say, you know. And that's let me just put it out to the listeners them now. Because when we say 1 billion, they might have say 1 billion. Listen, we are talking about one because we are talking about the rate, the exchange rate. We are talking about around 154, 155 billion Jamaican. For the what? The land down there already. If you use a bulldozer and just put two lucas to plant some flowers for 150.
I think what they're gonna do, they're gonna purchase how much? I think I purchased 4-acre land from the UDC. I don't remember.
UDC are our one. So you don't tell me say you have ability and you have purchased it from UDC.
You have to purchase land from
So what you have to do is transfer the land and stop telling me you have purchased it. So what UDC do with your money? Because UDC belongs to us. Our one is an agency of and it's not a private
Entity,
company
no.
or something. UDC belongs to us. So when them start doing our third world country, you transfer the land. And which part the 4 acre they, by the way. So they must start from now a rate town now because when you look at which part downtown there's on the waterfront and which part them have the little thing over there at the marina. So and you can't go so Newport East. So you have to go more like you go south, you know, like you go Raytown. Yeah, so but you have the little fishing village, then you have the little sea also. Which part them have the 4 acre?
But not only that, Mr. Rattigan and Mr. Loon and Mr. Lonesome. They're gonna along with the Development Bank of Jamaica, I think, or the World Bank, gonna come in and help them. Why don't you say to them, say, look here, that $100 billion, let's build
154 billion.
Huh?
154 billion to the exchange rate.
154 billion Jamaican dollars.
Yes.
Let's build a water reservoir, or let's improve the sewage system downtown Kingston.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Why can't they do something like that?
Or use it for the infrastructure in the inner city, like the road, like this, like Rattis and also next week. Me know some zinc. Me I see concrete wall and the most up there change up and the same road, but it look good. Yeah.
They call it Nylon Road, right? Or Baba Green.
No man. The Minister of Finance, he says carpet all over the place. Why is it again?
Listen, let me tell you something. People of Jamaica, my people, right? Listen to what the politicians are saying in Jamaica. Listen. But pay attention to us. Don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to us because we are break it down for you. So you can understand all of the fancy language that them are use and it sounds sweet and it just roll off of them tongue and it come in like a string of pearls. But at the end of the day, it don't mean nothing to you, right? Pay attention to what we are telling you. This little panel where you see, and we have some members who are not here tonight, right? But this little panel, we are provide more information to UNO than when the own government are going. Now the own government are going. Because look, if you talk about health, the wisdom the writer saw, the knowledge the writer saw. If you talk about crime, Ministry of National Security, forget about that. We have that lack, right? If you talk about what labor and social security,
yes.
If we did go, hey, you know what them should do? Them should have pay Mr. Lonesome for go inspect the site them, and they would have get a true assessment.
Listen, right? my brother. Some of the same workers them come to my events every year.
Okay.
Some of them even, you know, one and two of them, you know the thing go already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so and we know what going on. And some of them will live here now, will come out for that for over years and then married and settle up. We know what going on the site. Well, so when we see the minister come over and talking foolishness, we have said, number one, you can't go to the site. We know the site them that St. Catherine and all about, and I'm a friend them about it. Me keep show them their own me and everything. Me know the site them Park Barry go up more. Me know the site them all over the place. You know go at them site there, sir.
Okay.
And then you show the people them under a bus. It's wrong.
So
and he still does. I'm gonna finish what I'm gonna say, Mr. Rattigan, but listen to this. He went into the parliament and tell the people of Jamaica a couple days ago that he is satisfied with the fining of the people who went to Canada on the farms. They are satisfied that the people are living okay. I was just trying to find the thing to make you listen to it.
Listen. Somebody just, a very dear friend of mine, from Waterhouse, from 6 Penwood Crescent, lies. She just wrote to me and she said, this program, them program I want to do a university. She said, them program I want to teach. And them things, I want to teach. I want to speak. Another speech. Look, if them come and talk about health, the wisdom the writer saw.
Right there.
Like I said, them talk about labor and social security. Right or so. National security. Right or so. Right? Where else them about they want to talk about what we can? Information, how to talk to people, how to talk to the press in a professional manner. Right or so.
And you know what?
Foreign affairs and foreign trade, if you talk about how to act as a diplomat, right or so.
Yes.
And you know what? You want, come right or so.
If them come up And go on like them want reject what we are, so we just give them all of the we show them by videos and everything. We give them all of the evidence and it can embarrass them. So them are going to run and ball. You know people are always run and ball because them think this we in the diaspora. Them know we not ramping us. So them a ball.
Look,
we have them a running a ball,
look,
them a canter.
The biggest problem to Jamaica's success, right, is not the environment, it's not financing, it's not health. The biggest driver for Jamaica's failure to accomplish what it should have accomplished is crime, right? It's crime. Them don't know how to deal with crime. Them don't know how to deal with borders. Them don't know how to deal with community policing. Them don't know what them doing, right? And then the other one is that the foreign affairs and foreign trade, the one where you establish partnerships with people overseas and you bring people in, them don't know what them are do. The only one who, I tell you right now, there's one minister who look like it have some sense of what it done, that's Ministry of Tourism with Ed Bartlett. And Ed Bartlett is doing exactly, he's doing what he's been paying. He's not doing nothing like extraordinary. But we have to give him props. Why? Because all the others them are field. So when you start measuring him up against the rest of them, Ed Bartlett a superstar. You know what I'm saying? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Ed Bartlett is the one-eyed man.
You just say it, and I can tell you something. You know what am I do? With you can't depend on tourism. I could tell them because we are the number one for all of Jamaica. We in the diaspora, so you know our money is strong going there. Not the tourists are nothing. So Ed Bartlett, I could just tell you, take a back seat when we attack Tony, yeah? So when we attack Tony, we use money power. And PSOJ, help this try that more than anything else because I want to buy the junk them. The $6 billion worth of junk every year. We don't know. I know the poor people, them don't have the money. We don't them input the amount of junk, the money will not devalue so. Because when you supply and demand, when the money short, you know, it devalue more and all kind of things, the amount of junk them are carrying. You understand? Them now create no job and them thing there. The tourism minister now. Me have a video, but me should have take it off from earlier. When them start to know, you can harass tourists in Jamaica, you know. Can you imagine you living in your country and you get treated like you're a slave? You have to go hold your corner, right? When the police them start to know, the tourists are going to airport and them are running off of the road. We're full up, brother. The road full up and them are running off of the road, you know. If you carry them at airport for reaching time. That don't make no sense. Make the tourists them leave out, the bus them leave out 2 hours earlier. Yeah? And stop running off people. Me have the video, you know. Me show it to me. Me have the video. I should have sent it to your family.
You know, one of the things when I like you talk about, brethren, what I like you talk about, because them highlight tourism and say tourism, I think, bringing close to 3 billion, 2-point-something billion dollars, right? But what we need for highlight is the fact that, and again, people, this is university style, you know, but we are bring it down so that people who never go to school, them can understand. People who went to school can understand. People who go to school and don't understand and never understand not in a class, them still can understand. Because this program is for everyone.
Yes,
everyone.
And the people who have the R sense behind the name can understand too.
That's
some of them educated fool, you know.
Because this is what I can speak English fairly well, but them said the language where you're dreaming of, that is your mother tongue. Me dreaming of patois, right? But guess what? Everybody in Jamaica understand patois.
That's
everybody, but not everybody understand the English when they are talking in Parliament.
Yes.
Not everybody understand that English.
No.
Right?
Some of them do them look for big words. For
exactly.
the poor little people them. That's why them the radio station know what them are lose the people them.
You them
the people them, you know.
Them use the big words, right?
Yes.
To mesmerize the people. Them don't know what it means, but them see people are clap and jump up and down. And then them come with a song with them attach themselves to the people, like Don't You Trouble Zion. And the people understand that, and the people gravitate to that and say, see, our prime minister, our this, our that. Yeah, man, them know them matter about that. But when we talk about the tourism thing, what I like to explain to them, Mr. Lonesome and Mr. Tavares, the fact that when you buy when you book a vacation overseas,
hear this now. So we have no plane again. So not our lovebird, not all. So when them a big up tourism and I say this and that, let me tell you, government don't go collect the taxes. It never beneficial to we because them pay them own self and pay the gorilla general and who them a pay and the man them a bank of Jamaica for them pay big. It not beneficial to the people them, yeah? Our money where we send from the diaspora more beneficial to no because it come directly to no. Although them keep the US and going in a Jamaica and them robbing a little, them going a smaller a portion out of it. Them robbing no. But listen, you know, we there foreign. And if me a boot now for coming, me I book the airline in my country. And then most of the time, like Europe and them place there, these people have hotels in Jamaica owned by foreigners. So me live there, so me know people over here them own hotel in Jamaica. So when me a book come in now, me a book the airline, not Jamaican, it belongs to Jamaica. The money stay here. The money stay here. If you book in a UK or Europe, the money stay there. Because you just book, and you book for two, you use a credit card or something, you book for 2 weeks. All inclusive. So when me come down, I now come up and know where I tell them, me just in a Nazi camp. That's what I call it, you know. But me comfortable Nazi camp, but me can get the sun, like me a crocodile. Like, you know, but you just cock up my foot and go and cool. And when me ready for go home, then bust me out back and me gone.
You know something, Mr. Lonesome, yes. Mr. Rattigan?
Yes.
Well, on the top about how them import the food to and everything like that. So
yes. So the food now again. Let me just give them this now. So these are the same money we are talking now. These are the same hotel and them thing there, you know. Remember, you know, you come to Jamaica, you have to buy Jamaican. Them not supposed to import nothing at all. Them and import Irish potato, them import onion, them import carrot, them import everything. Them import all beef and them thing they for use in the hotel. So it don't make no sense. I better them stay them here than nobody be in hotel in our place. It's not beneficial to us. And then them use our workers now like what? What them use the workers like what? Some slave.
Yeah.
Gratuity. You don't get nothing. You get up and spread some bed and a do all kind of little things, not getting nothing. It's wrong.
And we need to point out
man.
We need to point out that the senior positions in them hotels there are not Jamaican occupy most of them senior positions.
No.
They're bringing them own staff.
Yes.
They're bringing them own staff.
This government, this party, in the 1980s, I remember, when Hugh Hart was Minister of Tourism, and I think Colonel Charles was Minister of Industry, if my memory serves me correctly. But I remember growing up as a little boy, it was Hugh Hart was Minister of Tourism. They're the one who allowed these hotels to keep the US out of Jamaica, you know. They're the one who allowed these hotels to book. And nobody coming to Jamaica in the hotels, they book from overseas. They're the one who do it. And they continue doing it, and the PNP comes in, and they didn't do one damn thing about it. So most of the foreign exchange don't come into Jamaica. It stays overseas. And when they have these deals with these hotels, it is a deal under the table. We don't see anything in the news or on a website stating that, you know, this hotel is coming into Jamaica, so that they're going to provide 100 staff, and most of the staff managers are going to be Jamaicans. You don't see those things.
What we must also understand is that when an outsider say, well, right now, they might come and invest in Jamaica and build a hotel, them get concessions.
Yes.
They get a whole heap of concessions, tax breaks and this and that the ordinary Jamaican wouldn't get if him decide to build a hotel and start business. Right? So the idea that tourism are bringing a whole heap of money, they might count money when they even reach a Jamaica. And they might count tourists we come on the cruise ship, them count them people at all. We come on the cruise ship and come off here one day and go back on and then go. Them count them. But then ask yourself the question, how much money them actually spend with local vendors? Because I saw a video the other day where a guy come in for the one of the all-inclusive resorts, and he said that he was told not to go outside the resort, not to go out. And the man said the best time him have is when him left the resort and go outside, right? So this, and again, what me say is that.
So me ask you, Ratty, When you go, can we go a lot of the country we call Smile Island, we travel the world. So you travel the world and Tavares there, same thing. So when we go places, you know, me not go places, we go sit down in a hotel like and go sit down in a sun like me a crocodile, you know. I open my mouth like me for breathe like me because me can't. Me no that to them. Me have to go inside of the country, me have to know places. And that me go to find out.
Right.
I meet the people, them I meet the culture and everything. Me no want go there. Me no want herb. Me no want
We can
go
see the senior of all seniors, the gentleman who hail from Jamaica, the man who don't mince words, the man who will investigate down to the T, the Honorable Dr. Herb Nelson.
Look, you're gonna have me there with too many titles and getting your guests upset.
No, man, we can't live with it, man.
We
respect you. We respect you, sir. We can't live with it. We can't live with it.
Lordship,
yes,
Attorney General of Jamaica. You keep doing all this research. You should be Attorney General down
You mean Jamaica's future Minister of National Security or Commissioner of Police?
Yeah, well, I want to put them up all of them.
The Attorney General.
Yeah, they need to make the Attorney General the senior most judicial official.
Indeed.
Why am I getting feedback like this?
I don't know. Maybe it's you. I don't know.
You turn on something there. You have something up. Turn it down.
Maybe you have something on there. Welcome to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We're speaking to, and we're also, I think, are we on Jam Talk Advisory? I'm not sure. But we're speaking to Herb Nelson Jr., Wilfred Radigan.
Let me check something.
The man in the wilderness, Sir Wayne Lonesome. We're speaking about the compensation package for the JCF. In other words, we're speaking about Jamaica.
Yeah.
We're speaking about Jamaica. We're speaking about what is going on in the land of wood and water.
Did your Federation chief come on?
No, he hasn't. I think he's not. He's
in a meeting. He's in a
meeting.
Yes, he's locked into a meeting with the people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavine.
I can tell you something.
The thing that I recall clearly, and if you guys, if I'm wrong, let me know. Dr. Chang spoke down. When I say spoke down, he undervalued the personnel that he had. He didn't think he had to spend money on these people because in his eyes they weren't worthy. That's why they didn't get a ballistic vest, right? And that's why they weren't getting the right pay raises. He leaves the brand new officers in the same situation where they feel threatened, where they live in an area that they can't get away from the area done. And they can't get away from all the bad habits that young officers should not be subjected to. So if he's not likely to put them in a place like Up Park Camp or find a community development for officers, right? Show that concern for these officers. And then give them the benefits that they need. The married officers certainly, as well as the single ones, need good medical benefits. If they can't go to the private sector section of UWI, they can't go to Andrews Memorial, then you have a problem. If they have to drive past those places and head for KPH, and if that's the only way they're going to live, they might die on the way looking for access to good medical care. I'm not saying KPH is bad, but I'm just saying you shouldn't have to leave the area where you are. If you're in Papine, right? Or if you're in the Halfway Tree area, drive all the way downtown to KPH to get medical help because that's the only place that accept your medical plan. This is crazy. So being undervalued, I think, is a major issue for JCF, that they're undervalued. I don't know what you think, Wayne.
All
But,
right. So you don't say KPH, right?
yeah.
You say you're not saying it bad, but KPH right now, no disrespect, but KPH is not even an hospital right now. Because you can't run a building without it now no staff, no doctor, no equipment, some breakdown things, some broken down things and things. And if you just pose up on two look a bed when you write and them thing, it can't write. We have to step up with the health system. We not talk about we just got pose up on building and paint it up and cut no ribbon. You have to staff these places and staff them properly. You understand? The police, them risk them life daily, yes. And if any one of them get injured or something, them gonna carry them down a KPH. Yeah, and that bad. It's really bad. Really bad, my brother. You understand? And then the police, right? Now the government to treat the police like second-class citizen. They must treat them like subhuman.
Yeah,
And that's true.
They're undervalued.
Them
Very
treat them
much
like
undervalued.
subhuman. And it's true.
Yeah.
Is that a message?
Oh, why did
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Oh,
for this.
Oh.
All right. Let me answer the question. The question for those who didn't see it is why did the Minister of National Security choose that British company to do financial auditing in the SSL matter? That's a very good question. Very good question on several fronts, and I'm sure my fellow panelists will jump in whenever they feel like and make their statements. But suffice it to say that how can you have the FBI? You said the FBI, you're coming in with the FBI you're asking the FBI for assistance. No, the FBI provide financial auditing,
Free.
Yes, and how do I know that? Because I've worked with them. I used to supervise financial auditors, forensic auditors. I used to supervise them when I was in charge of the intelligence division in New York. Right, albeit temporarily, but I was in charge of it for a certain point. Right. And this is a free service. When you ask for, and again, I tell you, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, forget about the foreign trade piece. Let's just talk about foreign affairs, right? They're clueless. They're clueless. And it shouldn't be that way because Jamaica have some dynamic people who can go out and do the work, but they're not the ones out there doing the work. We have people like this gentleman here, and I use that term loosely. Gentleman by the name of Mr. Leslie Campbell, who's in charge of Diaspora affairs. This gentleman, and I'll come back to him, but he's symptomatic, he's emblematic, he's alchematic of what's going on over that ministry. Abject failure, right? So why is it that they didn't go to the assistant legal attaché at the embassy and say, listen, FBI, we're asking for assistance, which the FBI will provide. We're looking for big data analysts. We're looking for forensic accountants. We're looking for white-collar criminal investigators. And we're looking for some support staff. Why didn't they ask for that? No, let me just roll it back a bit. Before SSL was exposed, the Prime Minister and the Minister and the Police Commissioner went to Washington and said that they were going to meet with all kinds of officials. No, part of being a diplomat is that you establish relations. That's part of it. Because that's how you get things. That's how I used to get things done. Right? And that's all the successful people that I pattern myself after. That's how they got things done. You have to establish a relationship, right? You can't go away no idiot business. People have to say you're serious, you know what you're talking about, and you have to make your arguments them. And you also have to be personable, right? People can't see right through the fake people them. No, they were there before. So make we say that they were successful. They weren't. They were not successful, but make we just say that they were successful. When them come back and SSL broke, the FBI would have been there if the meetings had been successful, and the entire cadre of investigative elements would have been there. So they wouldn't have to go out and pay somebody and then have to beg the British government for help pay for that too as well. Because that's what the report I read said that part of the cost of hiring this company will be defrayed by the British government, right? They wouldn't have to do that. They just ask the FBI and say, look, bring in on a team and we could just get to the bottom of this. So the idea that you have this at your disposal and then you go and go hire somebody and pay them for come do something with the people who are there already can do it for you for free. And I said they're already in quotation marks because we're not sure the FBI is there based on the different statements that we've heard from the minister, CTOC, the gentleman over from Nationwide, and also the joint press release from FID and the JCF. We're not sure, and a follow-up statement by the minister. We're not sure if they're even there, but it does not make any sense whatsoever. I yield to my fellow panelists.
Let me
well, the first thing I want to say about the company in UK, I have to ask something. When them say about miss the money and the amount of money missing, we hear anything about US about pound or about US? Both US, right? 12 point something million US dollars. Yeah, with Bolt, right? 12.7.
Yes.
And the next $4 million and everything and what have you. And then we hear so them identify a company already. I think in the US. So how it reach over to UK now? I never hear nothing at all about UK. Why it switch gone over there? Me can't understand. And how is it that from January till now them just go lock up Pantan, but we not hear nothing else about no one else? What them trying to do? Them are trying to put a fast one on the people of Jamaica.
I don't know, but listen to me. The Minister of Finance in his budget presentation today, when he said that he won't leave any stone unturned in SSL, I won't call any name, but there was 2 female members of parliament, well, 3 of them, was looking at him with their eyebrow knitted, as if they knew something that we don't know. But anyway, let us answer the question that this lady said, Mr. Tavares, why the NHT cannot build housing for the police officers in the form, yes, hotel in the form of housings. I think they can do it, you know, and they should do it. There have built a lot of housing schemes around Jamaica. But you have a point. They're building all of these housing that poor pauperizing Jamaicans can't even pay down on it. And if a police officer is getting only $50,000 or $70,000 a month, you think he can pay for you think he can pay mortgage with that? He can't. Michael Manley made the NHT for the poorer people of this country. But successful government, including the PNP, milk the NHT. And I can't hear this scene, I can say they rape the NHT without a condom. The 2 political parties rape the NHT.
So the NHT pregnant still, Jeffrey, so the NHT is still pregnant or it have twin or triplet?
I know the picnic can't happen. I know the picnic can't ban.
You know, Herb, you say something?
Yeah, I wanted to put this thing in the chat, but
okay.
Where the heck do you enter this thing in chat here?
All right, while you have figured that one out, and I'm sure you'll figure it out in a few seconds. Let me just get a quick word in. Somebody just sent me a thing from the Observer. Them say business leaders, food enthusiasts, and friends met at Boozer.Jamaica this evening, March 7, 2023, for the grand opening of the Jamaican franchise of the restaurant. And them show me some picture. I don't know if I can answer that though.
Yeah. No, put it on over. No, that. Yes. Come on. Yes.
Who that? I don't recognize that person there.
Isn't that the DPP or PPD?
Okay.
I'd go yes. I check that.
And see another one
Along
there.
with the Minister of Finance and members of the diplomatical corps.
All right. Now, is this a good look? People are suffering now. People are suffer.
Remember the PR, them love the PR, you know.
But this real leaders wouldn't do something like this. Real leaders don't do something like this when your people are suffer. If them not do it, them not do it and make it come that. Or them send somebody else go do it. This is not a good look. What else do you think a prime minister should be traveling with a police?
Nope.
What if there is intelligence to be sure the police about the PM? Hey, well on there. You want to take that question the Herb come here, jump out of my seat if you answer that one there now. I don't want to shock them,
let me just be straight up. If there's intelligence about the PM that needs to be shared, first question is, who are you going to share it with? Who can you trust to take action?
Not Google Gaga. Not Google Gaga.
Right? So do you go above Google Gaga then? You have a Gaga Google that you go to? No, I mean, this is serious business, right? If you have information that the Integrity Commission was right, and that in fact there is more stuff out there as to how he gained funds and how he utilized this gentleman, that he made sure the gentleman got as many contracts as he can push in his direction. Was that a quid pro quo? Suppose you have that kind of information overseas, right? Who do you talk to? Who do you tell, right? Are you going to tell the Minister of Justice because you don't trust the Deputy Prime Minister? All right. Are you going to tell the Governor General? Is he going to act? Is he going to take action against the PM if this kind of information exists? This is where we have a bottleneck in the justice system, enforcement of a justice system against high-ranking officials, because people are no longer sure who they can turn to. I leave it to Mr. Future Commissioner of Police or National Security Minister. He's going to let us know how.
Well, if the people of Jamaica would have me as a National Security Minister, yeah, I'll take that position, because what happens is that then I would be the czar. And I'd be the czar, and I'd just tell the Prime Minister, stay out of my way, because we are going to set this thing all right. We are going to set it straight, right?
But he can fire you if you tell him that.
If so, what?
If you tell him he can fire you, if you tell him that.
No, well, look, if the Prime Minister straight and incorruptible and have no baggage, he won't have any problem. He just say, look, you know what? It's your bailiwick, you take care of it. If the Prime Minister not straight, first of all, the Prime Minister not straight, I'm going to have the information upon him. I'm going to have the information upon him. So he can't fire me anyway. Because before he fire me, I lock him up.
Me just have to charge him before him fire you. Him have to charge.
Me would not know when I'm going to fire me. Lock him up before he fire me. You mad? I lock him up. No. Should the Prime Minister take, the question is, should the Prime Minister take the police commissioner to this meeting? The question, I understand what the questioner is asking, but look on it the other way. Should the Prime Minister be attending that meeting? Prime Minister shouldn't be going to that meeting. That meeting should be attended by the Minister of National Security and the police, right? And the police commissioner. The Prime Minister shouldn't be at that meeting. No. The Prime Minister is not Minister of National Security, he's Minister of Defense, not National Security. And they went there to talk about what? Not defense, national security. Right? They went there to talk about the flow of guns and the assistance and blah, 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 blah. So the Prime Minister should
and give the FBI a list of people doing whatever.
Exactly. And if you notice, oh, my agency or my former agency, how them operate, you don't hear a word from them about the comings or the going. Nothing you hear from them. Before the Jamaican Prime Minister and the police commissioner went blah, 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 blah. And everybody in America, all of the agencies with them do just sit down and just wait. And what them do, they meet with them in a one big conference room, no private meeting. And you know why they meet them in a big private room? And Herb know this. Meet them in a big private room because they don't trust them. They do not trust them. If they trusted them, those people would have been at FBI headquarters meeting with the FBI director, DE headquarters meeting with their director, ATF meeting with their director. That's what would have happened.
You know, Mr. Rattigan, and then let Mr. Herb come in. Is it that the FBI don't trust the Jamaican ambassador to Washington too? Because she's supposed to set up meetings like those.
No. Hold on. All right. Let me talk to you about that lady, Miss Ambassador Audrey Marks. I'm going to give her a title.
Yes.
Right? That lady, with all due respect, she needs to go back to Jamaica and engage in business because that's her forte. She's a successful business woman. She's not a diplomat. She carries the title of a diplomat, but she doesn't know how to execute the duties of a diplomat. Case in point, she took the prime minister when he came here to a function that has to deal with terrorism. And the prime minister went there and he got up and he made remarks for about 3 to 5 minutes. He didn't even know why he was there. And he was talking to them and said, oh, I hope you guys can, I think you guys would have a roundtable discussion so that we can talk. It's on tape, right? Him don't know why I'm there. And him go down and make a speech when it make no sense. And he went to the wrong organization. It's an organization that they were talking about terror. And what they had terrorism experts there. Now you tell me, which is the greater threat to Jamaica? Terrorism or transnational organized crime?
Transnational organized crime.
Exactly. So we had to write the terrorism forum. We had to write this up.
Maybe there's terrorists. Maybe there's terrorists in the house of Jeffrey shut him out.
You know, even if them talk about transnational organized crime, him shouldn't they write this up? Him shouldn't they so? No, you know, there is something called Homicide Investigators Forum, and it's held like maybe 3 times a year. They have one big one, right? That's where they're supposed to send people go. They have all of these symposiums, all of these things put on globally. Why do I know? How do I know? Because I, as the legat, when I used to work overseas, I used to send foreign nationals to those events. And guess what? The FBI used to pay for them to go to those events.
You know something, Mr. Lonesome, Mr. Rattigan, and Sir Herb Nelson Jr. Until now, the Prime Minister of this country, nor the Office of the Prime Minister or the Office of the Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice can tell the people of Jamaica why is it that the Minister of National Security cannot travel to the United States. Mr. Nelson, say what you have to say, sir.
You know, I don't want to seem like I'm being unfair to him, but it is a question that has been haunting him for at least more intensely for the last 6 months. Because everywhere the Prime Minister goes with the Commissioner of Police means that the Prime Minister either don't trust him or the Prime Minister is setting up an excuse for him that he, the Prime Minister, is in attendance. And that's why the Prime Minister ended up in that terrorist briefing, because they're pushing him into these corners to satisfy the US. And on the CBS side, we find that they've been satisfying the US a whole lot, but CBS side is not doing anything about all the weapons and the bad men moving around by boats and other means in the Caribbean. CBSI is not interested in that. CBSI is covering the US's border. They're not covering the borders of the Caribbean states, right? So we have to call it what it is. We've been catering all these years to CBSI, and we're in a lose-lose situation. CBS has to adjust so that they take care of interdiction of all the assassins that Jamaica is transporting to St. Kitts and Bahamas and all these other islands, right? Because, and how did the assassins from Haiti, of the president of Haiti, two of them end up in Jamaica, right? Somebody has made these arrangements, and somebody makes it easy for these things to happen. So, you know, we have to look within first and clean up within before. I guess that's what might be what the Minister of National Security was doing. He was still investigating how did those two people from Haiti get here. I don't know. I don't know why he can't leave, but he needs to answer to that.
As you talk about that, I don't know if I can ask you this question. So if CARICOM is going to lead a delegation to Haiti to try and curb Haiti's crime pandemic that Haiti has, and Jamaica has one of the second crime problem, the second highest crime problem in the Caribbean, followed by Trinidad and Tobago and other countries within the Caribbean. Do you think that CARICOM should lead such a delegation, Mr. Nelson, or CARICOM should say to the powers may be, Canada, America, and Britain, you all lead the delegation because we have our own problems. We need your help.
You know, the situation in Haiti is one caused by the U.S., plain and simple. The U.S. occupied Haiti for a long period of time. The Marine Corps was there. They've turned the place upside down, inside out. They got rid of the first democratically elected president. They got rid of him simply because he wanted workers to get $2 a day, right? Not once, but twice, under George Bush, and then under I can't remember who it was, the second one. I know Bill Clinton put him back in there, and Bill Clinton sent the forces in and cleaned up over 90-something thousand weapons out of Haiti. So, you know, the group that is currently considering whether or not people should be sent into Haiti in force is saying no, because each time that group has gone in, this last time when they collected all that money for the earthquake, the money disappeared. We don't know whether the Haitian government got it and spent it, or whether the people who received it, namely George Bush and Bill Clinton, diverted the funds elsewhere. And I know that there's been a federal investigation of some of the players who facilitated the Clintons in trying to find out what happened to the money.
How much money was that, Mr. Nelson?
200 million.
It's in the millions of dollars.
200 million.
200 million.
We have with us this evening, we're going to make a content, Mr. Nelson. We have with us this evening Mr. Rupert Francis. He's one of Jamaica's member of the Diaspora who led the task force in the Diaspora when it comes on to crime prevention. Welcome to the Make We Talk program, sir. Continue, Mr. Nelson.
I'm going to let you come in a minute, Doc. But let me say this to you. The U.S. does not want to take point on the Haiti situation simply because everything that the U.S. instituted in the past has failed. And if you look at the wider world, we went into Iraq, that failed. We went into Afghanistan, that failed. Everything we touch turned to kimchi. So the bottom line is, do you really want the U.S. to handle the Haitian situation without doing reparations? they supported the French, and the French government took the equivalent of 21 billion in today's money. They say it's 25, 21, 25, it doesn't matter. But that's how much money they stripped Haiti of, forced Haiti to have to pay them for their freedom. So how do you justify putting the US back in there again? You cannot. And the Canadians, whom it would appear to be the most logical choice to do it, they're afraid to do it because they don't want to offend the French brothers.
So Herb, we now go down there, you know. Send Lampard and make them yam him. General Lampard.
Lampard. Who's Lampard?
Yeah?
General Rocky Mead.
Okay.
Who's the ambassador of Plentiful?
Okay.
But I believe he was there before when Colonel Barkley was deployed there. Jamaica had a contingent there with the Bill Clinton deployment.
Listen,
Doc, I leave that up to you.
No. Let me say this to you. We've been into Haiti before, and we've been to Grenada, and so on. But I think that the U.S. has a responsibility, having in the 20th century been there at least 2 or 3 times, and having been named in there for having been involved. Now, naming somebody under them is another matter, but it's quite obvious that there must be some degree of evidence. But Haiti is in a serious condition, and something has to be done. But to be quite honest with you, I don't know Jamaica. Can you imagine? All right, we talk about the US and we talk about Canada and we talk, but can you imagine Jamaica in the situation that it is in right now? Is in considering sending troops to Haiti. Now, I have heard of, but I've never seen 2 mafia groups go against each other. You see what I'm saying? So because that's what it will be equated to.
That's
Because,
true. 100.
you know, thief can't catch thief, and I don't, thief don't like and see a thief carry long bag. The point I'm trying to make is this: that we are competent and we are capable, and we are really not supposed to be on the streets. You saw what happened the other day with the policeman and the soldier. That is a sign that they've been on that street too long, and they were not intended to be there that long in a SOE. So can you imagine now? Add the value to it. These guys have weapons similar to weapons you can imagine any war zone. They have been able to, keep themselves at bay right now, and to get in there and clear it up. You need a massive force. Where are we going to get the manpower?
With force and resources.
The resources
Yes.
to back them up. That is going to be at least a 3-month conflict, at least at the best.
Then,
a 3-month conflict.
No, it's 125 different gangs, So we're gonna send the 2 helicopters we just by the other day, the couple of them, and the Bushmans.
No, you can't send the 2 helicopters alone, because let me tell you something.
We know, because what Jamaica saying that it just a joke. It just a deflection. Because we now want, if we can't find 300 people, them say them wanted to do all the crime, and we can't find them. We can't straighten up ourselves. Or you're going to send to Haiti, we have 11 million people. 11 million people. We're around 3 times the size of Jamaica. We have 150 gang well armed. We're well trained to, because a lot of the police and the soldier them join those gang, As a matter of fact, them are the head for the gang.
Yeah, well, here's my situation. It would be foolhardy, because already the boss man, Prime Minister, is arresting people for cause bad word on the road. So can you imagine when you send a few of our people down there, let's say a company, not a battalion. That's 3 companies, right? And you go lose a company. Can you imagine what will happen in Jamaica if that happens? Can you imagine? So I don't think that. I think it's just a facade. I think here is another red herring.
Is it red herring?
Yes, unless the French would have to come in, and they are questionable because of their history. The British can't move because they're in trouble right now financially and what have you. The Americans are the only possible, and it is also questionable. And so where do we go from here? The rest of the Caribbean doesn't have a standing army. And so therefore, unless Bratigan go and send few of his boys down there.
Yes, General Lampile.
Exactly. Unless he does that, then
they try them.
Let me just say something.
Go ahead, Mr. Brother.
Let me just say something here. The lonesome and dark on the touch and on the hit the nail right on the head. This is a deflection.
Yes.
Plain and simple. And what we must do, we mustn't follow the shiny object. Let's just focus on SSL, focus on all the corruption going on in Jamaica until them send people go there. Then we can talk about it, because that's when them want turn your attention to something else, which them know them not going to that.
Talk about it.
They know them not going. Yeah, you talk about that and you stop talking about the other things, because
that
they
is
know
it.
them not going to. Because first of all, we don't speak the same language with the Haitians. It's not the same culture, right? We don't know the terrain, and they're well armed, and they're 11 million people, and we go over there, go do what? And then think about it. People in the Caribbean and Latin America, you know what the best thing they've said about fighting the corruption and the crime in Haiti and bringing the situation under stability? The best thing they've said is this: we will send a small force to do an assessment. Even Canada said the same thing. Nobody wants to go in there. Jamaica, jump up, get ready, because we're planning to send people there.
And a Jamaica, because the people them afraid of Anjo.
It's a joke. So Jamaican people, want to listen to me. It's a joke. Keep an eye on the issue. Don't follow the shiny object, because Haiti, I'm sending people to Haiti. That's a shiny object. That send a battalion go over there. No.
Ratigan, can you imagine now? Say you send a battalion. Now you have 150. When you listen to this, I talk to my soldier bedroom them took. Enough of them listen with set speed. When you listen, if anybody else sending, just send General Lampire here and joke me a make and Google. Listen me now. You go over a place where you don't know nothing about the gang, them and nothing. The language barrier different. No, you see some man drop your gun. You turn your back to some man where them where you gonna run go. You have no where you gonna go, where you gonna sleep, where you eat, where you do. Where you gonna go? It don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense.
It's a bloodbath.
Them are gonna make you disarm them.
But hold on a second.
Police and soldier over there run from them, you know. Police and soldier run, you know.
Remember them saying that in Jamaica, them must about 250 gang, you know. And we can't control our 250 gang where we speak the same language, we have the same culture, we have the same terrain, and we can't fight, we can't control them. But we're gonna go to Haiti, go control for them gang.
Real arm gang.
But one thing I can say, Mr. Lonesome, Dr. Francis, Mr. Rattigan and Sir Herb, if Mr. Prime Minister was the Minister of Defense, Mr. Holness, if you send our men and women to Haiti and anything happened to them, their blood is on your shoulder.
No, hold on. You mean anything happened to them? And what are you talking about? Listen to me. Cuba is closer. Why don't you pay some Cubans to go over there or maybe kill a few people? Maybe that's better. You know, I'm sorry to say, I mean, it's not a joke. Listen, I am one of the most well-trained armies in the Caribbean, obviously, are the Cubans. So come up with some money then. Come up with some serious money then. Come back to them and send them all right. Maybe the Haitians may be afraid of the Cubans, but there's no other group, no other army in the West Indies or in South America that they'd be afraid of. None.
And remember, Doc, remember, so Jamaica, most of our army, 3/4 of them need Lampile, you know. Yes. So, no, man, we don't start straight, because them not ready yet. And a joke, you can't go face Asian. The man them block off the aisle around the country, you know, brother. Block it off, you know, and the police can't go there, nothing, you know. When them want to release something that me have blackout and all kind of thing, them can't move. Them block it out, the soldier and police them around. So what you gonna do? Send our people them go there?
There's a question in the chat. But I will answer the question, but maybe Mr. Nelson and Mr. Rattigan and Dr. Francis and Sir Lonesome can answer the question too. But I don't think the Dominican Republic and Haiti has a good relationship, you know.
No.
I don't think they
No.
do.
No. Years ago. Years, decades.
No. Yes, remember the extrajudicial killings over the color business and all that sort of thing. They've had some serious issues. And you used to hang people, the Haitians who come across the border. So you don't mention that at all. They can't help nobody. And so, gentlemen, we have to the United Nations, whatever they call themselves, and the various other bodies, they better come together with some serious money. And maybe what they need to do is get another Wagner group. And I'm not being facetious here. Get another Wagner, the one that I'm using against Ukraine. The Russians are using. That's the only way out, I think. I mean, I'm not trying to be facetious. It's the fact of the matter is these are mercenaries because and maybe when these people in Haiti see the mercenaries come, they'll run the other direction, but they're not gonna run from nobody. They're not going to. So I don't know.
Themselves are mercenaries,
What's that?
But them in a Cuba, I'm down in a 18. Them themselves are mercenaries too. Them no business.
Exactly. Yes. So I don't know.
As what Mr. Rattigan said, let us go back to the matter at hand. Read the JCF and other problem facing this beloved country of ours. Don't get me wrong, Jamaica is knocking behind Haiti's back door. And if we don't clean up this mess that we have in this country, no signal the plane. No.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, Wilfred Rattigan?
No, I'm not even. Honestly, I'm not even laughing because I'm not even laughing because the whole idea of us going to meddle in somebody else's affair when we cannot even control our own is preposterous. And from a military point of view, from a humanitarian point of view, and just from a intelligence point of view, as our good friend Herb will say, it's just preposterous. So I tell you guys, let's not even waste our time on it.
Look, I agree with you. Let's move on to another topic because that's not going to happen. It don't make no sense at all. That's just a deflection. No, not only that. We have to ask, what's the role of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in this Haitian Jamaican thing here? What we don't hear from them at all. And
as a matter of fact, hold on, Mr. Rattigan. They went to Haiti. The Prime Minister, Ambassador for Plentiful Rocky Mead, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs went to Haiti, and they haven't addressed the Jamaican people about nothing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that this is something that should have been addressed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade long before this visit take place. I mean, anybody who's involved in diplomacy knows that your principals just don't show up. So you have the work that is done in order to prepare them to show up for that. That takes place way before they actually show up. Your leaders just don't show up like that, right? You have advanced teams that go and they talk at a certain level. And then they hash out the issues so that when because remember now, when the leaders coming up, they're not getting down into the weeds. They're just going to make policy statements, broad sweeping policy statements, and then leave the other people, their assistants, to work it out. But there's a gentleman, I spoke about him earlier, gentleman called the Senator, the Honorable Leslie Campbell. This gentleman, I think, I don't think, based on what I'm reading about him, I don't know if this man understands the role of being a diplomat, and especially being in charge of diaspora affairs, because he made a statement that Jamaica's diaspora engagement strategy has been recognized as a model for engagement by several countries and international organizations. And as a result of the successful program that Jamaica is running, Jamaica has been invited to share its expertise with a view to building global best practices. Now, what is money that eat? What is money that eat?
Who said that?
The Honorable Leslie Campbell.
Listen. Them talk, this is what them do, them some gaslighting or something.
No, man. Hold on there, Wayne. Mm-hmm. What they do before they go to Parliament, or before they decide to talk, they have a drink of the distill, St. Juice.
Yeah, me understand now. Yes. Oh,
yeah, but
me ignore them. Me nobody repeat what him say because remember them that has said.
Yeah, but hear what happened now. Hear what happened now. But you see what happened?
Head.
No, but you see what happened? The
Yes.
Jamaican people who are not familiar with diplomacy and all this stuff, them read this and them say, oh, Jamaica go on.
That's why you have us.
Exactly.
That's why you have us.
Exactly.
So when them do this thing now, we make them ball because we are talking to the people. Them say, listen, that muggle, global muggle.
No, I'm not model. I'm muggle. I must muggle.
I must model. Yeah, no, muggle. I must muggle. Yeah, man.
Look, I don't want to use.
Muggle.
Look, you know what happened? I have some folks. Right? I have some people who actually they watch the program and stuff like that, and they give me good. They give me outstanding advice, and they say sometimes I must steer clear of kind of like using certain adjectives to describe certain people because there are ways they can do it and still be effective. But I'm trying to find some nice ways of being effective with this gentleman here. And I'm struggling because this man is, you know what? Because I'm going to say something.
I will do it. Just
do it then.
Give it to me.
Right.
In my baggage, in my waist. You know, them just put some little speech and just come chat some foolishness. Jamaica, global what?
Yeah, let me read it again so that people can hear it for a second time. The people who never heard it the first time. It says, coming from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, it says, during his ministerial statement in the Senate, Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell said that Jamaica's diaspora engagement strategy has been recognized as a model for engagement by several countries and international organizations. And as a result of that successful program, Jamaica has been invited to share its expertise with a view to building global, not even regional, global best practices.
So why then, if him said the diaspora, why we in the diaspora, we not talk to them, you know? So they must attack Adjo Marx and themselves and say the diaspora, well, them are part of the diaspora, but for them thing, for them it's strange. Because them, even in a Canada, in a UK, the whole place, number one in a UK, you know, people go down at the consulate and them call police on the people them. Our council, them up they call police on the people them with dog. In the state, when people go for a passport, you know, some people might not have something straightened out. Them sell the people them like slave for 20,000 US. You have papers and them calling people upon them. Serious thing, you know. Instead of you look over people them and help them, you ask them if them go for your paper, you say, so we want to see if you're straight. And you listen. And your country in a business about that you for try to help the people them. So I be an arms house them to them used to sell people 20,000 in the state. Them get it. You understand? To get people dip. So I be either things them do, them not work. And when you ask your passport, all 1 year it take you to get back a passport. 1 year or two.
And then think about this. Think about this for a second, right? CARICOM came together and said we're going to support Baroness Scotland to continue her role as Secretary General of the Commonwealth, right? All of the countries have come together and agree. Jamaica, after the agreement, Jamaica decided, no, they're going to send Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith. They're going to put her up to run against Baroness, right? And them cause a rift. And now you're turn on and try to CARICOM. Oh, let's go to Haiti together and let's do this and let's do that. That's why the Prime Minister talk up his mouth and say, well, I'm going to Haiti. And you notice he must talk about it. And look, he never showed the common sense to say, well, wait a minute, Jamaica can't do this alone. We need to do this with our territorial partners. We need to do this with CARICOM.
No, with all fairness. Hold on, with all fairness, what he did was to travel from Jamaica to Trinidad, if I'm correct. Then a whole diplomatic corps of them from Trinidad and the Caribbean countries.
No, I'm talking about he made a statement before he traveled. He made a statement. The statement was
in
made
Parliament that Jamaica is going to XYZ.
Yeah, exactly, that they're planning, that people should get ready, that they're that it's likely that they'll do it. He made a statement before the travel.
I'm starting to be corrected with this. Maybe Mr. Herb can assist. What I gathered is that some CARICOM heads spoke to him along with the American government, spoke to him to ask if they could send troops into Haiti. So what he did was to just jump up, give the government, give the people of Jamaica a heads up that listen, we are going to send Jamaican troops into Haiti. The question must be asked, though.
Hold on.
Hold on. I can finish the point.
Yes.
The question must be asked, though. Did he did an intelligent gathering
That's why
before
I
he
say
ended up
something
saying
to
anything about
you.
sending troops into Haiti?
Let me tell you something, because America don't want to send troops at this, because I saw that. And Canada too. They never want to send no troop at the time. Like them I said, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that. Him jump up and talk about send this and that. Because it was the SSL at time. And it's still at.
No. With all fairness,
Yeah.
Mr. Alonso, I'm not taking up for him.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
SSL at time. But with all fairness,
Yes.
behind the scene,
Mm-hmm.
CARICOM heads and other people
Mm-hmm.
have been saying that Jamaica should lead the charge. Hold on.
But what me I said to you now? What me I said to you? CARICOM, them now, most of them they've never soldier plateau.
But we are part of CARICOM.
I know the whole of that. But me I said the small country, if Grenada talk to you, just took on the amount of people there and not even a parish. St. Lucia the same thing. Trinidad the half size of it. We go to all these places, Antigua, not even a parish. And we are looking at the amount of people them. And if them say this and that, you have to, number one, if you CARICOM, them have to come together and talk to the big countries. You have to talk to France, you have to talk to America. Them have to lead the charge and you can say, okay, we can come behind you.
Wayne. I think you're from the fact, Wayne. The CARICOM heads had a meeting, a conference meeting, I get to understand, with all heads of CARICOM, all prime ministers and presidents. And they decide, say, okay, we need to lead a charge into Haiti. Now, what they're saying, if I am right, and if I'm wrong, I'm saying to be corrected. I'm saying to be corrected.
Man. Yeah, because him speak before them meet, you know, that me I tell you. Yes, man.
If they all meet, and they say that Jamaica should lead the charge.
Yeah, but remember him did speak before and said the world can't come together and do it. Him did speak before that, you know. And then them, yes, I think the will right, because I think them did speak before.
You talk before that. But by the way,
yes.
I get some messages and people that say you're onto something and that you for burn out Peacock because people are suffer.
No. Listen, tell them some me make enough people get them passport. All when me talk in a New York, there, so when the woman get a Rose get her passport, the man go to call Rose and say, "You call me name for Mr. Loan some program." I mean,
the other thing too is that
them get them passport.
Yeah,
enough passport me get for people, you know. Because when me call even Obamas, the woman that threaten the girl, I said, me I go sue you because me see you call me name for Mr. Loan some program. And then somebody from down a yard call her and she get her passport.
Here is something where the Jamaican people supposed to pay attention to. Instead of pay attention to this Haiti stuff, which is nonsense. That's a shiny object. Here's what pay attention to. I think it was December 10th. The Minister of Labor and Social Security said that Mr. Carl, Honorable Minister Carl Samuda, made a statement that early in 2023, that his ministry will call for a raise in the minimum wage, right? And then today, when the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Dr. Nigel Clark, made his pronouncements in Parliament, he said that Minister Carl Samuda will make that announcement I think it's going to be in April.
Yes.
But he said that it will be meaningful. Jamaican people, that on to keep on the eye on, because it went from 7,000 Jamaican dollars, right, to 9. Now keep an eye and see how much that increase will be. That wasn't supposed to do. No war about Haiti.
No.
Like I said to them, listen to the politician, but pay attention to us.
Right, and that's what we need
right here.
Hold on.
Hold a minute, Dr. Francis. Before we go,
we're not going away.
No, we're not going anywhere. I just want Senator Nelson. I just want Mr. Nelson to answer to what I said pertaining to CARICOM and the Jamaican Prime Minister.
Look, okay, as of the 6th of March, when a statement was made by Davis from Bahamas,
right,
who is the president of the CARICOM heads of government, right? and they met on the 5th of March in the Bahamas. And they got the report that we're talking about that the Prime Minister needs to share with the people of Jamaica. He gave a report on his one-day mission to Haiti on February 27th. And they met with a lot of Haitian stakeholders to hear their views on the way forward, because that group of leaders had voted before that there would be no troops sent into Haiti. Now I know they've met with the U.S. and that the U.S. has always stroked Jamaica to take the lead in the Caribbean, right? And that's why the Prime Minister had put his hand up and volunteered the JDF and JCF to go into Haiti. But there's something called I forgot the technical term for the military. But Jamaica is not ready to match up with an unknown number of gunmen with an unknown number of weapons. You would need the entire JDF in there and to overwhelm whatever forces they throw at them. And there's no way to guarantee we're going to come out without some real bruising, a lot of bleeding, right? So the heads of government so far agreed to support the Haitian National Police in their efforts to address the security situation. There are about 20,000 Haitian National Police. Want to quit.
Mr. Nelson,
yes.
Go back to February the 1st, not March. Go back to February the 1st when it said Jamaica Prime Minister said his government is willing to send soldiers and police officers to Haiti as part of the proposed multinational security assistance development. So you go back before the 6th of that. Go back to the 1st. Just look and see if this is something for the 1st of February.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm saying, Wayne, is regardless of what Jamaica said and what the US wants, they had to come together this last time and get the report from the PM on what the stakeholders in Haiti want, as well as how they're gonna the way forward, whether they want the troops in there or not.
So on the 1st of February, they must say at the first in the Western Hemisphere, for put boots on the ground in Haiti. For a long time, what have you?
This was before the travel. This was before the travel.
This is the 1st of February.
So we're right.
You're right in that instance. You're right in that instance. But you have to go with what's happening now.
Yeah, but no, Monga, tell him they said these things before.
Yeah, you said there's no question.
Yes.
He said it. Yes, there's no question. He volunteered. He put his hand up because the US would have funded Jamaica. Let me put it that way.
So go kill off yourself.
Hold on.
Yes,
remember, we're not forgetting the famous Jamaican saying, mouth make for say anything.
True.
You understand me? So a man can say, me know a man say, I'm going to lick you in your face and he said, friend, hold me. I lick you, so somebody hold this behind the in not going away because I'm not going out front. The point I'm trying to make is a face card. Right? The point I'm trying to make is how many troops are you going up against? Jamaican army is what? Less than 20,000?
No, Jamaican army is 5,000.
No, it's more than that.
No, man, go check it, man. Them just tweet the other day. Please check it. 5,000.
Yes, well, the reason why I'm saying that, Wayne, your facts might be 5,000.
5,000.
Well, unless we shrink.
The police are almost 12,000 now. And then you have the DC at 5,000. Just check it.
I'm going to check it.
The JDF is 5,000?
Check the Jamaica Army. Just Google it. Just look on the strong.
Wayne. Remember, the man you call him a Major General or Lieutenant General Meade. Remember, he expand the army, to all.
Just check it right now, please. Just check it.
I can't leave you to check it right now, but I will.
No, man, Herb can do that right now.
Herb, check it. What I'm saying to you, gentlemen, is this. Look, first of all, any leader were to solve, military leader, you have to know what you're up against. The forces you're up against, right? And we don't know how many of that 11 million are really fighters, correct?
Yeah.
So, would it be a smart thing to say, you have, and if it's 5,000, then you're saying somebody in our country mad? Because, of course, we'll be part of an international force. But the question is, we don't know how many Canadians they're going to commit. We don't know how many other countries in the Commonwealth, possibly in the South America, they're going to commit. I haven't heard anything from the Cubans. So that means that, are we taking the lead or are we just bystanders? And whatever it is, you are talking about a bloodbath based upon what the armory and the that these guys have. These guys even have mortars because they seized almost everything. Bazookas. Okay? And the only thing I don't know if they have is tanks. Right? But so I'm just saying to you guys, this is ridiculous. So I think that we should warn and, in fact, cajole and suggest to the Prime Minister, not tell him, suggest, Mr. Prime Minister, please don't make this fatal error. Because I believe, as you quite rightly say, Wayne, and everyone else on the panel, this is the Ratty. This is suicide.
Don't tell him. Don't suggest to him. Tell him. We are not gonna send our sons and daughters in harm's way.
No, hold on now. Brother, I am saying to you that I know that we are going to talk, but the last decision depends on him. He is literally the second head of state, because you can't even count the Governor General, because he seems to be making all the decisions. But Mr. Prime Minister, please do not even listen to these people. Unless you get a troop of about 150 to 100,000, you do not send them in out there to become.
Well, what they can do, with the 5,000 that the JDF have, there are 62 or 63 members of parliament. Send them in there too.
Yeah, man. You ever put Lampile first and put Google second? Make them go first. And then, yeah, man. And send books.
When this is a serious development, because
no, we know that. No, we are ignore it, because me don't have my soldier bedroom and tell them no. Nobody not. Let me tell you, have some people talk to me, and I say, listen, we now go over there, say, it's not going to work. It not work. It's a joke.
So
let's come back home with this conversation.
Yes.
So let's come back home.
When active personnel, according to this, in Wikipedia, 5,950.
5,000, yeah.
All right, I call that 6,000. Reserve personnel, 2,580. That's JNR.
Yes. So you know what? So if you use the 5,000, we are going to call up reserve.
So you have to call up the reserve to back up the police.
So it's done. So we have 10,000. You understand what I say? Them the boost up the other way, 5,000. So you see me, I tell you, so you think so maybe at 20,000 we have not true, Jeffrey? No, me know it's right,
No. Hold on, Wayne. I spent 10 years there, and during my time, the average was about 10,000.
No, but they drop. That me that tell you.
I give you one better. The CIA fact book only estimated Jamaica's active strength in the JDF at 4,000.
Thank you.
Whoa.
And that.
Thank you. Because
that's accurate.
Jeffrey.
That is accurate.
So that's accurate. So
that's
it's
accurate.
not with them, call them, say them, they top it up. Oh, the other day, let me tell you why, the other day when them catch a guy, them call them something where them not even soldier, but them count them in night. Them don't even train them good. So them tap it up the other day, and I said, we tap it up now, because I'm soldier virgin, them I say, they're not soldier, because them not get the full training, This is how we Google them, and this is how we Lampile them, I do. May I tell you the truth? So that the CIA fact book, 4,000. So how much of them you can take and send over there, so now? Figure do what?
Well, I am going to be telling you something. I am ashamed tonight to admit that I am way behind in terms of the compliments of. I really honestly thought, I never checked it out, just because I assumed that we had as much or more. Because remember, think about this, guys. Think about this. Hold on. I want to think about this. The general, we had a brigadier when we had almost 8 to 10,000 people.
General Niche.
Well, General Niche, and you have Brigadier Robinson. And you have, and you also had Brigadier, what's her name again? Anyway, it will soon come back to me. And you had Saunders, Major General Saunders.
Saunders, yes.
Yes, and then you had, before Saunders, you had Lewin, Hardy Lewin.
Yes.
And, the other one from Coast Guard. You had that. So, and then now, General now, to make it, him become the Lieutenant General, the highest ever, him had to expand the army. So you see what's going on here. You see what is happening. My God, I didn't know that.
But the question should be asked now. Let us come back home with this conversation. Do you think that do you think it should be mandatory that every young man join the JDF? If they had if that was so, would it solve Jamaica's crime problem?
Well,
yes and no, because let me tell you, let me just answer him, because when you train some young man and you don't have no work for give them, but them can't fire a gun now, pull it up and do everything and have soldier training.
Hold on, wait. They're remaining within the JDF. They're fighting for the government, for the country, like how Cuba has it.
Yeah, but
there
has to be a term of service, Jeff.
What term of service? Hold on.
There has to be a term of service. What is it, 2, 3 years?
But gentlemen, conscription is a way to go, but you have to be educated towards conscription.
Thank you.
Let me make it quite clear what Wayne is saying. Wayne is saying that you take a little boy off the road, he may have been in a gang, what have you. What you really need to do for almost every service in the country is have a polygraph of sorts. Right?
Yes,
because what is happening is the blind is leading the blind.
I think
Thank you.
Okay?
I think you all misunderstood me,
No, I didn't.
No, hold on. Let I rephrase it. Do you think from the beginning, the inception of this country, it should be mandatory that young men join the armed force? And if it was so, do you think we'll have the level of crime that we have now?
But from the beginning, we can't go back to the beginning. Me understand what you say, but at the beginning, no.
Please.
Yes, me understand what you say from the beginning. You understand? But to know, we have to straighten out the problem in the country, truth and reconciliation, create some job creation, build up something, open back some factory, do some other things, and then get back to this. Because you can teach a discipline and everything, but you can't teach them now in this time and age, because it's going to be very dangerous. You understand? So get back and straighten the problem first, before we go to that.
Dr. Franz, we only seen half of the plane, man. Put your face, but we can't see you.
Yes, Doctor. No, the other way. Yes.
There you go.
I'm so sorry. But listen to me. I was so excited.
I like a green background, man.
Yes, I have a green background, but that's your heart, not mine. I left that a long time ago. I am concentrating on the zinc fence now. I'm not concentrating on and I'm concentrating on Wayne's red background. So please, I saw a red shirt. Okay. As a matter of fact, my brother will say that we're not political. I mean, let's just
we're not political. We're not.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, listen to this now. These guys, if what you're saying, if we could have done that from early, in fact, we would have a better hope of changing. But right now, can you imagine a truth and reconciliation working in Jamaica? Nobody not telling the truth. So where are you going to get the truth from?
But you want the youth invest. All right, so a man like me, all right, let me tell you now. Let me tell you up front. My influence broad still, you know. And you
Right.
see when you have a man like me where we keep it real, because you have some people call people in a trap. And you know, you come from ghetto, real ghetto. So, me know youth used to, you know, them thing, they might kill each other. And for say, serious talk. And me open a wholesale. And a man come to me and say, well, booba papa, and I say, hey, stop the F3. Remember, so the one we play marble. Just start. And the other one, the other side come to me the same thing. And I say, and it done. Them never walk from 1999. The man, them a big man right now. Them nobody war again.
Yeah.
Because tell me what, you have some other people now in the community. If they call you, they can say, come check me. Maybe them a plan to bury you. You can't trust them. But if me call you, and me call a man, then the whole of we are friend. Me must can talk to him. He's a man chat true to power. So they more trust alone some long time.
Okay.
So you want more people like me in some community forget it straight now. Do you understand me? Yes.
All right. Okay. Because every one of us on this call have good friends who we know are not necessarily good people. All right.
Of course, that's true.
Okay. Okay. And I am telling the people that, you know something, don't you know who to frighten.
Yes.
There's some people who these people will not go up against because they know what the repercussions will be. But the point I'm making is, and Jamaicans are, you know, I am surprised, honestly, to see the young people moving in this like dog heart to ratted. I mean, look at how many the security the other day since the scamming gone down, you know. So the killing of the security guards now has gone
No
up.
man, scamming not gone down. Them scamming the banks left, right, and center. Poor people same way.
Oh, we're not talking about them. Like, oh, thieving has arisen, of course, from inside. Oh, by the way, did you see that woman go take the 35 million and walk right through the airport and gone away to Canada? And you have her loan, some of you have that woman there with the
35 million. She can't carry that in a
She don't go through the airport with that. She's still in Jamaica. Not go so.
She can't go through. That's
how
come
them have the picture?
No, man, that picture don't follow that, man. That works. Because listen,
all right,
25 million enough money for your carry. Just the paper itself.
I want you all to listen to what the Minister of Finance said in Parliament today.
What did he say?
About some roads. Listen to this.
If we are to respond to the loud and consistent demand from the public
Can I hear it?
for better roads with materially more expenditure. Madam Speaker, to address these issues, the government of Jamaica decided to take decisive action. I'm pleased to inform this honorable House and the Jamaican people that the government of Jamaica will implement a $40 billion island-wide shared prosperity through accelerated improvement to our road network SPARK program. The SPARK program, Madam Speaker, will be executed over a 3-year period with the start of the project development in this fiscal year. Madam Speaker, for all who don't think the constituency debates work, Madam Speaker, they are responding to you. The executive is responding to the parliament, Madam Speaker.
Lord have mercy. Hold on.
Will come in this fiscal year.
Listen to me now.
Madam Speaker, we consider, especially in some parts of...
You hear what he's saying?
Yeah,
man.
Listen to me, gentlemen. Do you recognize that what the minister just said is that roads are even more important than infrastructural development or any other because, you know, I mean, how are you going to improve the road with the content? Let me just say this, and that just came to my mind, by the way. Shoot me down if you want to. With the carnage on the good roads that we now have, the carnage that we have all seen, can you imagine when we have more of these good roads, what's going to happen? That's one thing. Secondly, if you're going to spend money on roads, what about the other infrastructure that is so important to the poor people and their bed? How are they? They can't work on the roads.
No, right? But hold on there, Dr. Francis. Yeah. They have been fixing the earth skirt and not the rural roads within the constituencies, you know.
And that's the problem.
They're
not fixing the infrastructure.
Another country has some potholes. I remember when the late Mutty Perkins was alive and the late Roger Clark, when Roger was Minister of Roads, and Mutty had Roger and the program. And when Mutty was talking to Roger, This everything cut off. Here, Roger. Here, Moti.
But you have the multi laugh, man.
We have lost the minister. It seems I'm just at the JD for him. He's dropping one of those potholes. So you know, we have to make sure we signal the plane properly to fix the roads.
Well,
Mr. Rattigan, you're quiet, man. What happened?
No, here what? You see when you talk about roads now, that's a different thing. No.
Bien,
the Chinese build the highways, them, right?
Right.
And them go build, the Chinese build the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade headquarters down on Little Port Royal Street.
It's bugged.
Right. No, why is it the government never said to the, because they had and I've been inside the building where that they had the headquarters up in New Kingston. Nice building.
Yeah.
Near the KFC there, that street there. Right, go down.
Dominica Drive.
No, why is it that they never said to the Chinese, listen, we now build highways, so we now have some extra material, and since we now have the prison laborers them there already, come in at the inner city then and build some of the arterial roads, the secondary roads. Come and build the farm roads, come and build some of them roads there, right? And forget about new building, the building will not go bug. We know not go bug it. No build a building there. Take the money and just build roads and build community center and build schools and do this and do that. Why they never do that? Why?
Well, because you see, there was more in it for everybody else the other way around. Let me tell you, gentlemen, I don't know, from what I understand, that there's some people, almost everybody getting contract in Jamaica for this and contract for that and contract for that. But the poor people, the only ones that are not getting any contracts are the poor people of Jamaica. But the poor people then don't understand. I don't think they understand. Wayne Lonesome, how is so quiet on this one? How people in your area don't understand, say, the people, the right now they're doing us a disservice. Them a disservice. They still don't have water. They still don't have any infrastructure. They don't have anything in they have to hustle every day. They don't have good jobs. And people are talking about, listen to me, there's so many jobs in Jamaica. Then why are people leaving then if there's so many jobs?
And you know how much people leave last year? Go through Mexico. I not go through other places. 12,000 odd.
Man, can represent some of them, represent some of them.
All right, so 12,000 odd. You never find them kind of exodus there on them place there. That them start turning back. A youth called me the other day, him on a program. One of the thing the program. Where them say them look about you and thing because them see some little things and the government program. And when you look them turn him back from Mexico. You go try next week, them turn him back. Because the government has say, yo, turn them back now, we not boom, bam, 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 bam. Up to that. Them start turning them back. Yeah? It's so bad. Now, when you talk about the road and them things, that's why I tell the people them, say, listen, start look on the people them CV, yeah? Stop vote for $5,000 and $2,000 and make man come junk on off and tell you no bag of crap. Because man like when you rock, So when you tell you about you must a donkey poop and you jump up and you feel nice, yeah, because you have the Ray and him nephew apart with. It will stop. And a matter of fact, me respect the item. So me, it's the things I not do for myself, I not do it for nobody else, Me not do it, Me not push it down. Me not grow so. You understand? So if me know, say me have some food and a dark food, you think me can share it out and go no make you eat it? No. But that politician them do to get up people. You understand? Them treat them like them are the worst, them are second-class citizen. You understand? Them are subhuman. I tell the people them to get wise up. In your area, number one, and not just your road alone. But if you're sick, you don't have an ambulance to call and pick you up. You know, I'm the car, you're poor, and you live on a hillside, and your granny is sick. Like come the other day, I show them a push an old man on a barrow. No road neither, But when I say, look over if you do no water, no good, it touched me heart. And when you go to hospital, by the way, you not get both, Kind of triage now work. And the doctor not stay there, public hospital, by the way. No nurse. And them get over here like a watch toy there. It's wrong.
Mr. Lonesome, I know this, and I know you'd love to hear this. You and Mr. Rattigan, I want you to play it. I want to listen to this.
I'm pleased to provide the update, the following update. Arising from, writing to, and collaborating with the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom, This morning, Madam Speaker, I signed a statement of work with Kroll Associates UK, the British subsidiary of the multinational risk and financial advisory firm, to provide forensic audit investigative services to the Financial Investigation Division in its probe of the SSL matter. Kroll will bring leading-edge technology that will support FID in unraveling all aspects of this 13-year fraud and bringing co-conspirators and accomplices to justice. I'm also happy to share, Madam Speaker, that the British government, which has long supported the FID, has offered to cover some of the initial costs of this engagement with the government of Jamaica covering the balance. This occurred this morning, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I ask Jamaicans not to jump to conclusions, but to await the outcome of the investigation.
You can't ask for that, man. And a conclusion we are jump to. So hold on. So is a preempt that Rattigan.
Yeah.
And we not jump on Pantona and Bonoff, you know. Because when they say, no jump to conclusion, you see it? You know what am I do?
Well, hear him say about Crawl, I don't know. Hear him, listen to the statement carefully. Him say Crawl, I support FID. You notice what him not say? Him not say Crawl, I support JCF.
No.
CTAC.
No.
FBI. Him not say
No.
that. You notice him not say that.
No.
You notice him not say that. Look, man. You know where though, Mr. Lonesome, after addressing nicely now, please invite the minister to come back on your program. Please, and just tell him he must come back when he have time that he can answer the people, answer the questions from the people, and answer questions from the university professors them here. That's what you need for asking.
So
all right. If he's watching, Mr. Honorable Minister Nigel Clark, you came on Mr. Lonesome's program a while back, sir, and you made certain representations and you provided certain explanation. Now, on behalf of Mr. Lonesome and his distinguished panel, I am asking you to make a return appearance on his program so that we can have a, as they say in Jamaica, a fulsome discussion, because the last time you left rather early and people felt denied that they didn't get a chance to ask you some pertinent questions. So, and we ourselves, we didn't get a chance to really fully explore the plethora of issues. Hear that word they do. Plethora of issues that we had. And we were hoping that the next time you come, we can have a discussion to fully explore all of the issues and come to some resolution, sir. So I do that on behalf of Mr. Lonesome and his distinguished panel. There you go.
Listen to this. Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, announced that there will be 200 new electric buses to boost the fleet of the rundown JUTC. That all they do inside there. They have managers for the tire, managers for the nut, managers for the windscreen wiper. Listen to this.
You know something.
Listen to this.
But I'm also pleased to announce, Madam Speaker, that the government will be procuring an additional 200 electric buses on a phased basis over a 3-year period, commencing in this fiscal year.
So what am I cap for? Over 3 years.
Oh, you have electric buses and on electricity.
That me I say. I'm more money, you know.
I'm more money. Oh, you got buses, electric buses and on electricity.
You have to put in the
infrastructure.
You have to.
Yeah.
But what
you tell me something now. I'm going to talk, Mr. Rattigan. It's best for them to buy electric buses for the JUTC. Yet the JUTC is ranking up a debt of $11-something billion this financial year, while other Jamaicans around this country can hardly afford a Tina Dotty girl, can hardly afford to pay JPS, our National Water Commission, can hardly afford to pay slime now did you smell?
So hold on. You know what, you have not asked the question, and I think Ratty alluded and when alluded to, was where is the electricity gonna come from, and how is it gonna? Where does it come from? Because there's fossil fuels, We don't have enough from renewable energy through the other means. So that means we're going to spend more on fossil fuel to produce the electricity to run the electric buses. There's no other way, I don't think, unless they're going to have what you call it on top of the buses. What they call them? Solar.
The natural gas buses run in the cities here. That's what's on top of the bus, the storage area for the natural gas.
Okay.
Well, those buses had some plug-in bus, and then you make it charge overnight or something. So you'd have to put in the infrastructure and do all these things. Now, this is the government, the other day, them were a street light thing for like 7 billion. It take them around 100 years to pay it off. You are a street light. Remember that the stupidest thing for you have your power service and sell to a foreign country. You understand? Yeah. The stupidest thing.
Something
you try to get it back. You understand? Because by the end of the day, you have all the schools, the hospital, the police station, the fire station, everything the government have to pay for. Now, remember that the whole of the money come from the same finance ministry. So now here you share up the money. This is the amount of money we are lose.
Listen.
It makes sense. We sell the thing.
Let me say something. I don't know if anybody else see this.
Yes.
The Minister of Finance, the Honorable Dr. Nigel Clark, the man there take acting lessons, watch him from when him first come to politics to now him get more animated and the inflection in him voice and the way in body language. I think them are groom this man to be the next prime minister because and the other thing apart from the way him kind of announce himself when him come on stage and things like that. If you look on him talk now about everybody portfolio, granted he's a minister of finance and him a finance all of them things, but you hardly hear from the other ministers them, hardly hear from them. Look on all this thing with the SSL. I just him alone talk about FBI and this and that. You know nothing from
the Minister of National Security.
Nothing.
If you know, Ratty, in Grenada, it's the youngest ever prime minister. I'm younger than the whole cabinet. Matter of fact, all the ministers on both sides, right? He's very smart, very sharp, and very impressive. And he has come up with some tremendous ideas to turn the economy around in Grenada and to have good governance in Grenada, which is what Jamaica needs. Somebody like him, his ideas can work. Because I recall it was a Michael Manley ideas that Maurice Bishop took and came up with the 5 to 8% GDP improvement in the economy of Grenada decades ago. Right? All that was overlooked in the killing of Bishop. But he was successful. Huh?
No, but who killed him? More people.
Well, is a Jamaican killing? Is Jamaica working there rise up and kill?
Hold on a minute. Who is that killed Maurice Bishop?
Bernard Cord, Jamaican, and his wife, 2 Jamaicans. Them organized the riot and the killing.
Well,
so did the JDF go down there?
Yes. America did go
there. Hold on there.
America and the JDF.
Who helped signal the plane with the JDF to go down there?
America, man.
America went first. America
went first. America do go on the first, man.
One thing I wanted to add to the earlier.
They went together, Lonesome. They went together.
Yes.
Same.
I have some friends who go on there too, Yes, man.
Let me add this to the earlier answer, Lonesome and Jeffrey and Ratty. They're now checking with the Africans to see if the Africans are willing to join the Jamaican contingent to go into Haiti. That's the latest move, right? Because there is a closer cooperation now between CARICOM and the African Union.
Yeah.
And that, in fact, we live in the 6th region of the African Union, designated as the 6th region. So they're saying to the African Union, if you are the head and we're in trouble down here, what does that mean for Africa? We need you to come in and to deal with the situation in Haiti. And there are French-speaking countries in the African Union that I am certain have superior armies to Jamaica, and they could do some good work in Haiti without really, stirring things up and making it personal.
So the question must be asked, though, Mr. Nelson. Would the African really send their forces to help?
Well, we're gonna find out. That's why Jamaica is on hold. They thank the Prime Minister for his presentation. It was very comprehensive. He told them exactly what was needed. I'm sure Wayne's friend, General Rocky Mead, gave a good write-up to say exactly what's needed. But the record that Wayne appeared with his program in Haiti, you hear that, Wayne? That's one of the recommendations.
Yes.
Gentlemen, Wayne, and I don't know where you guys get the energy, but I've been on a 2-hour thing before this one, and
why is it every time you come on this program, Dr. Francis, you want to signal the plane and leave?
No. It's not. Listen to me. I tell you something. You don't know what my day is like. You're a young man. Stay in your lane.
But you're just 21.
You hear Wayne laugh on this up?
You're still signaling the plane. You're still signaling the plane, man.
Gentlemen, I think that I think we have to do some really great analysis. I hope that the Africans, French-speaking ones in particular, come out and help in this situation, because we cannot afford for Haiti to be going down this road. Because Haiti is such a beautiful country. It has so many natural resources, and you and I know that is what everybody's after. And so, we really need to do something. And it's unfortunate, whereas the Prime Minister's enthusiasm might be misplaced. I think that we really could really get some effort. If we can get some effort internationally, then we cannot bring the French back, because that is like rubbing salt in a wound. But perhaps we can get the forces from Africa. I don't know what Ratty thinks and what Wayne and John think.
How much, Mr. Ratty, you have to come into this one, and Mr. Nelson, how much do you think the American government will give to the Jamaican and the Africans for them to come in?
They will give all the necessary support, whether it's air support, whether it's transport, if anything goes off that the ground forces can't handle, then you may have Canadian. Don't forget the Canadians will be there too. You may have Canadian gunships that could helicopter gunships that they could use to just intimidate, not just fire on people willy-nilly. But the bottom line is, you have to have an overwhelming, the Powell doctrine was you have to have an overwhelming force to deal with all these so-called gangs and gunmen on the ground. Right?
So you know what? The best thing though is to try get in touch and have dialogue with these people, because I listen to some of them, I listen to them, I watch back certain things, especially with the one name when he call himself Hamburger, that police
barbecue.
One of the biggest gang. All right, him, yes. So him I tell you say them too corrupted, them too this. So you want to have dialogues with them. You understand? As brothers, try reach out to them and have dialogues with them. But don't approach it like, because they approach it the wrong way, it go. So, and them can't talk to, because them say, them people, and them are manage them thing, because them over the years, them too corrupted and think the government and everything. So them ready to have dialogue, they can have dialogue. and you just try go around and have a good team, you know, say, hey, we just want dialogue and, you know, other country and make a try to fix up this. See if you can reach to them and see what they want, you know.
That's so true, when they don't want conflict. And you know what?
Yes.
All the gangs have gone to the head priestess. That's the head voodoo man in
Yes.
Haiti, because he has authority. And they've spoken to him and said, hey, we want to stop all of this stuff. But we don't want anybody being
outside
taking people off to jail and breaking up the communities.
So them now give up. So you have to go in with with dialogues. You understand? So you can put that together and try to act it. But not going with no big gun and big this.
Mr. Rattigan, you have been a part of the FBI for many years. And I'm pretty much sure you have been to many other countries that has turmoil like Haiti and sit down and talk to government officials. What would you say in this case? And I know you don't want to drift away from our country, Jamaica.
Here's what I would say in this. In this case, I'd say make a deal with the crime problem in Jamaica. So we need to get a police commissioner who's active, who's dynamic, who knows what he's doing, and who's personable, who has a presence, and all of those things I just talked about. The present police commissioner, he's everything I talk about is here, and the present police commissioner is over here. They're not this. They're not. You know, they're not superimposed on him, right?
But even further than that, still now. Man, that we were in that year. That's the way we were. Someone ask me, please. Thing that they are saying now.
That's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on how we can make Jamaica a safe place for people to live, work, raise a family, invest in light and beyond. In light of and beyond Vision 2030. That's what I'm concerned about, because we're not doing it. And, you know, them say you have to dance at your yard before you can dance abroad. And to me, and if you notice, the man is absent. The man is missing in action. We haven't heard anything from him. We need our police commissioner to protect us, to reassure us, to provide a safe space so that we can go about and do our business and live our lives. And we're not getting that. All we get is just pure nonsense we're getting nonsense. Look at this nonsense. This is a police commissioner, and I kid you not. Best practices say that we shouldn't do more than 2 or 3 technology projects, but we are doing 30 something in Jamaica. That makes sense?
No, Ratty, let me ask you something though. Since when the commissioner come up in the US the other day, when them fly come up there,
it was December.
December or November.
November.
Okay, so how much of the 30 wanted man them get now? Cause them the boss about the wanted man and whatever. Come here, them go silent now, you know. How much of them cause them say them are gonna get them for extradite them back to Jamaica. Come in and know how that are. How much of them get already?
Oh, hard. That's a good question. But that's a good question. Here's another good question. This is something that me shouldn't do, but me gonna do it. Me gonna answer your question with a question.
Yes.
Them not advertise, because the point you make is that they make this grand speech about what them are doing. They don't make a grand speech from the Prime Minister on down saying that, and even the Minister of National Security said that tougher penalties for people who get caught with guns, illegal guns, right? A man just get caught and get sentenced the other day, and he never get the penalty.
4 years. 4 years.
Right. So the point I make is that, like I think Doc said, no, watch what people say, watch what them do. Watch what them do. And if them do nothing, make note of that.
So after we put up too much money and go up there, so go do a PR stunt with Andrea Marks or what she want to name. Rent a room, put a woman there, so have them one photographer, and then I talk to somebody. Not sure we not face, don't go the 2 of them alone. And the first them see this and say, and here Google, me have rephrase. We as international police and you as criminal. We could not talk to the FBI, so. Even now, no sense. Them just I must book life him that talk to General Lampide. They must, but I couldn't, and nobody around them I talk to, so. You understand?
Listen.
I don't know, me not see nothing at all.
Listen, let me tell you something. Herb, when you sit down right there, so Herb is a very modest man, right? Herb can
Yes.
really talk much. Can you notice people sometimes have to beg him to say a few words. Herb
Yes.
listen and observe. Herb have a ton of contacts in Washington. If the Prime Minister had reached out to Herb and said, Herb, listen, I'm coming. I want you to set up some things to me. Set up some things with some people, with Congress, with all the various agencies. Herb would have gotten him into those people's offices instead of a classroom. That's what Herb would have done. And instead, we appear this lady here. And like I said before, no disrespect to her, but she's a businesswoman. She's not a diplomat. She don't know. And this is her second tour, by the way, as a diplomat. Second tour. But
I know that, yes.
yeah, but some people, they may tough and they're not cut out for certain things.
Mm.
And so that's it. And I think this woman, she don't know how to be a diplomat. And that is why we are get the kind of trips where we are get and where them take in our classroom, go meet people, and them take you to a conference.
You say the magic word 2 times, and I can stop here, so. You see why you don't say classroom already, kindergarten, Ratty. Remember, Google can go there, kindergarten. And it's a classroom. Maybe you think it's a high school kids go. No, a kindergarten classroom.
Where you tricycle? Where you tricycle?
Hold on there. Me not give him still. Me don't sit. Me take out the
Hold it up.
No, sit there.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Hold on, sit there, man.
Yes, there it is.
Be real, man. See that? You Google, you not get it neither. You not get it. Me done with you, man. Me done with Google, man.
No,
gentlemen,
but this is what we get when we put these managers out there. They're not leaders. This is what we get when we put these managers out there.
True.
And first of all, they don't have a lot of experience. And the ones who have the experience, they don't learn from the experience, and they're not critical thinkers. They can't sit down the road. They cannot sit down the road. They can only see as far as them foot. That's all they can see. They can't sit down the road. Cannot. And how can you put these people in those positions and say, these are our leaders, and then you highlight them? That means that, what that mean, you know what I'm saying? Them say, if you hire a very smart person for work for you, it shows that you are also smart, right? But when you hire jackass, and I don't want. Let me say this: when you hire
when you hire jackass,
when you hire people,
Jeffrey, answer me then.
Yeah, when you hire people who have no clue, and then you have to do them work. Like, look, the Prime Minister have to do the work for the National Security Minister. You know, him do the work. You know,
yes,
him and the Minister of Finance do the work for this man. Yeah. No, so the question is, why do you need him? Why do you need him? I keep telling the Jamaican government that there's a man out here in the diaspora called Herb Nelson Jr. They need to reach out to this man here. If they want to know how Americans think, and I'm talking about the government, if they want to know how Americans think, or Americans strategize, or Americans plan, if they want to know how to get resources, how to meet and greet people and to develop people as partners, talk to that man. I'm make it as a public statement. So anybody who know the Prime Minister, please tell him, say, call Herb Nelson Jr. If he want things sort out, call this man.
You know,
you have the man calling me tonight and midnight, and
you know, gentlemen, we have been at it for how many hours? Because the conversation is so good. But I must say, huh?
I run way off now.
No, when I run off, I must say good night to Ambassador Curtis Ward, one of Jamaica's best diplomat, and also Ambassador Aluma Samba.
Yeah, man.
Who has a wealth of knowledge and information when it comes on to reparation and other things in Jamaica.
National treasures, the two of them.
Yes.
People. National treasures.
Ambassador Curtis Ward and Ambassador Luma Samba. Gentlemen, a nation of ours who has been the gem of the Caribbean for many years, until we allow politicians to gradually wreck this country. But we will not allow them to let Jamaica become like Haiti. And that is why this evening and other evenings, we have panels like this. Herb Nelson Jr., Dr. Rupert Francis, Wilfred Radigan, Jamaica's future Commissioner of Police. The People's Defender.
Stand up, Will.
We have to get up the man, man.
Jamaica's future Commissioner of Police to lock up who to be locked up. And by the way, Mr. Nelson, we were talking a long time, well, not a long time ago, about a week ago.
Hold on.
That we need to take. Hold on there.
We're not Minister of Information, man.
Let me
take over from Mr. Morgan.
This information
no, Herb, let's put it this way. Him take over.
Yeah.
You take over from who? Bug Life?
No, you can't take over from you can't take over from him.
Take over not from Bug Life. Bug Life or Bug Life. That is Bug Life.
He is the Minister of Misinformation, because if he did not know
misinformation, yeah, man.
Because if he did not know the elder statesman who has served Jamaica well at the United Nations, Ambassador Curtis Ward, gonna come on national radio and TV that he's not an ambassador, he's a fake ambassador, and then you're gonna call around the entire globe to find out who, huh?
Bug Life said that. Just
yes.
But Bug Life now the manners.
Then he's gonna call around. He's gonna call Roots FM, threatening Roots FM that he can make sure Roots FM use the license. I went on ARSA and I tell him point blank, try it. If you're thinking about try it.
So him can make them lose, lose them license.
Because I went on here and called him Minister of Misinformation. So you know what I did him? I hold on there. I went on his Twitter page and his Facebook page and I tell him, I am Jeffrey Tavares and I'm calling you Minister of Misinformation. How dare you to go on national radio and say that Ambassador Ward is a fake ambassador? This man has served this country with distinction. He has served the country well. Who are you? A fly-by-night, pitch-by-day Minister of Misinformation. I gave it to him, man. I was so upset that day.
Motivada, man. Me deal with him today, still, though. Me fixing business today, man. Fixing business.
He was on today?
No, him not on, but me fixing business because him always come with some misinformation, so you have to correct it. You know, remember the Joe Stinker them back in the days where them a fly up and down. Just go back there 70s, man, when you have the ball. Remember when the ball them over the screen, so at the light post them, man, where you screen, not like them one. So you have the Joe Stinker them come out more. Him a one of them. Him a Bug Life. Him a one.
Listen.
Yeah, man.
I get a lot of thing, you know. Text messages, you know. Loan some of the people, them some for big you up, you know, because them say you need to do something more on PICA, because them say PICA is an agency that is it's non-functional. Them say that people passport, them refuse to process passports and issue them on time. And people know all over the world where you have a Jamaican presence, people are coming and complain and want to fight out the people because them can't get them passport, and people need them passport to access certain social services. So quite a few people have sent to me now and I said to me, say, listen, Mr. Lonesome, dig up something, you know, we need to explore this in depth because we need to clean up over there, so.
Remember, say me I clean it up. Cause listen, now winter.
When?
Hold on, me explain something.
Who is the minister of
No, under the we'll go to the minister. We'll go to the minister, but let me tell you what people know. So the CEO of Winter. And Winter now, that are the same one where call her immigration, send her text and say she call me and tell me say him is a good guy. And what have you? But him take Pika and turn it in a back road. So I immediately about out. I tell you about him turn it in a back road and them thing there.
Back road where? Portmore back road?
Back road. Ladies have the back because the ballroom turn one room in. So me just me burn them. So I tell her to tell me say, you know, him is a good guy. which me intercept that too, and attempt to send that to me. I may have something else to go burn them out. Remember, me just burn them out and I show you them teeth out the bus engine from Pika and everything with them are going with. So me I can finish them tomorrow.
Please.
Tell the people that me finish them tomorrow, yeah?
Okay, all right.
Me finish them tomorrow.
People allow who send me the text messages, and I get it from about 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, man, I finish up.
Listen what the man said. Lonesome say I'm gonna finish up the story tomorrow, so now I have to tune in and listen to that.
Yeah, man, I finish them tomorrow.
But don't you all think it's a bloody disgrace that they can't build a proper passport office for the people of this country to sit down? We have it under tent, and have this long line in 21st century Jamaica.
You should have go on line and you know, deal with the passport online, and that's it, and it's sent to you and what have you.
Yeah,
you
but
know, people
I understand
go to the
that,
office in New York and things. Listen, I make people get them passport. When Rose called me around 9 months, them of our thing. And when me go, I burn them out all the while, and them know enough. People know. And when me burn them out, the first thing the man call her, you call me name to me salute.
You're weird.
Call her from the yard and she get her book in a couple days.
But Wayne,
me do it all over the place. So I always abund them. People them know, man.
But
so
Wayne,
me straighten them out. So me still straighten them out down a yard now. Cause them not easy. Yes.
But Wayne, what about the people who can't go online? Don't you think that they should build a proper passport office? Because the one in Kingston, they have a line long for you go back to Timbuktu.
True.
Where the Briley son.
True.
And if I go on the tent hot like when I go down wherever.
That's what you should. If you have, a matter of fact, if you have the passport offices, even if you say Carnival, Middlesex, and sorry, even that.
Yes.
You know, you have, you know, big nice passport offices.
Three people just send me something, you know. 3 people just send me something, and them say this is a big problem, even upon the at home and abroad. And yes, even online is a big problem for enough people. It takes years, not just months, to get back a passport.
That's years. Me deal with a lot. I gotta finish up that. I gotta deal with it tomorrow.
Who is the minister in charge of the passport office? Is it the Minister of Foreign Affairs?
No, man, I'm in charge of where name? No, Manayard.
Audley Shaw?
Yes.
Lord of mercy, help us.
No, Audley Shaw do I him in charge? I said no.
He can come on the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
No, Audley Shaw. Crab.
Oh, the Minister of National Security.
Crab in charge of this. No, a transporter Audley Shaw.
Yeah, national security. Come on, the national security.
Yeah, crab in charge of the crab. Sorry, the crab. Not Sir Crab. The crab.
I think, Mr. Rattigan, if you get back that goodly person on your program, you can put out the word to make it pass it to Harry Strong.
Who that?
You should know how I'm talking. That goodly person there.
Okay, I know you're talking.
Yes, I don't want to call his name because I was told to stand down.
Hey, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, let me draw this to the panel's attention.
Go ahead, sir.
List of the best United Kingdom forensic accounting firms. And I'm looking through the list. The top 100, I got down to number 30.
And you not see it yet?
You see Kroll.
Kroll didn't rank anywhere in the top 30.
So it's a boogie yaga. It's a boogie yaga. Just see where please go down the film. Come see.
Why didn't he not go after one in the top 10 or top 20? Forensic accounting firms in the UK. I don't know what resources the Kroll has, and I don't know if they put intelligence in their declaration.
Remember, Herb. Remember what the minister said now when he come out and make the speech. I think it was his first announcement. He said that international partners, they asked international partners for referrals, and they gave them some referrals.
They gave them Kroll.
Then give them friend and company and relatives who are run certain things. That's what them do.
What the place name?
Crawl.
Speed.
Crawl.
Wait name?
Crawl.
Not speed in name. Wait name?
It's a name crawl. It's a crawl. It's a crawl.
Jeff, don't pick it up, you know. But me,
No, I pick it up. I pick up what you're saying, you know. But
why don't I go with that, man?
No,
So what are they? A simple
Wait.
Google
And then
search would have
friend them all
shown.
let off, you know.
So a simple Google search herb would have shown that if you look for the top, if you look for the best out of the best, crawl would don't fall in another category there.
Crawl no fall.
Gentlemen, what we fail to understand, you know, that these people who are in politics, you know, do not do nothing for the best interest of Jamaica, you know, the best interest of themselves and their followers.
They no want to go prison, Jeffrey. Remember, if it just kind of FBI like that, enough people are go prison, you know.
But the fact of the matter is,
you don't want to do it.
The fact of the matter is, we already know who involved and who took
Of course.
What's his name again?
You said and then the rest of people their money.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you see what's going on? Mr. Get a call from the Prime Minister.
Yes, man. They might tell him to step down.
Dr. Francis, are you so quiet?
I'm quiet because I'm amused and amazed at I hope that the government of Jamaica takes note of how far and how wide the investigations will be internationally among Jamaicans and other people. So they really, the whole future of Jamaica depends on how they move forward, because this evidence is overwhelming. They can't cover it up anymore for long, and the whole credibility. Jamaica is one of the best paying nations, and we had credibility, you know, internationally. And so I think that they really are letting us down. Mildly, putting it mildly, I don't want to put it in Wayne's words and the Rattigan reasoning in your words, because I know they'll be harsher. And
so why you can't put it in harsher words?
Because no, I'm just.
Are you afraid to signal the plane? Go ahead, man.
No. You want to sometimes listen, Jeffrey. You must behave yourself. I'm simply saying that I'm trying to get these guys to understand that they're in trouble. Sometimes when a man wet in pants, you know, him thinks it's just pee. But you know, when you go deeper, you know what it is. So the point I'm trying to make is this: that if they were smart and they see what is happening in this World Wide Web, and where nothing in a few seconds you can validate their argument or trash their argument or what have you. And right now, just a moment. And if you go down, crawl is still crawling. I don't really crawl out of anything yet. Out of the first 30. Then so whether
you snail. That's snail.
Exactly.
You have a call there?
So but what it also goes to show is that I come into just let me just finish my point here. The thing is that how complicit some people are to come. They have no shame. These are the same masters that gave us slavery and so on, and they're going back to them now, right? To validate their wrongs after so many years of stewardship.
We have a call online, Dr. Francis.
What's that?
Here's what happened. I'm getting a whole bunch of texts here. Somebody, very prominent diaspora member, said in 2018 I applied for my Jamaican passport while in Jamaica. It was a horrible experience. Long lines all day event. They wanted me to get a new birth certificate and get a JP to witness my signature. Lots of unnecessary red tape. Another person wrote and said, passport office was originally run by the elite police immigration officers alongside civilian workers. Once they restructured to an only all civilian run office, it became a free-for-all under bad management. Another person said, listen, we should be asking questions about the committee that's been selected to revise the Constitution. We don't know nothing about them people there. And them say we need to know, because that I think the the gentleman that Mr. Lonesome refers to as needing some oil medication, some medication for worms. I think that gentleman is part of that. Is part of that.
But who we need to ask is retired judge, former Attorney General, who is Minister of Constitutional Legal Affairs, Marlene Malou Ford.
Well,
and she and I get to understand that she is alleged that she's involved in some land saga in Westmoreland.
Listen, Jeffrey, let me say this to you. I tell you something. If you continue with this corruption, it's it's going to be all pouring on the body screen, because you can't even name all the corruption. You can't fight. They are there so glaring. They don't care, right? They don't care. But the fact of the matter is that until the people of Jamaica understand that these people are our servants, they are not our gods, right? That they must understand that it is their money that is being spent and looted, right? And if we don't understand that, they don't understand that, and they don't vote, we could talk all night. We have to let them understand that we have to stop these people, because you can't get a mouthful, as Ratty says, of food, which determines where you're going to vote, or some liquor. That doesn't make sense. And then you have 5 years or 10 years, 15, 20 years. We have to make hold these people accountable. You can't have people, okay, on both sides of the fence now, you have people who have committed themselves, who have been to jail for things. Not jail, yes, but been in court, in front of court, and they're running for parliament. But why are we not calling out all these people? Because in the Congress of the United States, last point, the Congress of the United States, there are people who have been bankrupt, who are in front of the law, who have been committed, who have committed offenses, and they're still members of Congress. So we have good example out there. So what can I tell you? It is crazy. We really don't want a Jamaica like that. We want a Jamaica that we are free to do what the people are, free from fear, free from bad mind, and free from starvation. And right now we're getting all that, and then there's no hospital to keep us when we get sick.
But you know something, Mr. Rattigan, you need to come in with the thing that you have there from the person. But you know something? The person touched on a very vital point that we need to find out who sits on the panel of the reform of the Constitution. Mm-hmm. We need to know, and a matter of fact, what we need to do is ask the Minister of Legal and Constitution Affairs, the good lady, Miss Manu Fort, a former judge. I can't pronounce her last name properly.
Fort.
A Fort or Fort?
No, it's Fort.
You want to hear the right name?
Yes.
You were my trust.
Oh my God.
No. Win.
All right, that's how you see me. No, but me make me go and talk, Jeffrey.
No, win. Right. No, please win. I beg you, because I don't want to get a call. I don't feel nobody, but
on a serious note, still, what? I think we shadow because we have the man, the wind, the man in the wilderness, the renegade who not afraid. Him have him ears on the ground, I think more so than anybody upon this panel here, right?
True.
Yeah. What I think him should do, and which all join him in doing this, is we should start looking at candidates, potential candidates, our ministers, and start evaluating them. Forget what the observers say about them. Yes. We can do our own thing and evaluate them people, because we have more than enough information that we can actually do an assessment and say, okay, this person is this person that. And especially when it comes to election time, we don't pick no party. What we look at candidates.
Well, run them CV.
Yes. Well, hold on, Wayne. Remember the CV makeup,
No, man. Remember, we used to on the ground, So, like what them are give we, when we are on them CV, All right. So, for instance, if me go on mobile, me have enough people where interact with some people, whether you're animal or fish or a crab or something. So when me know about, me know about them animal there, me know about some you know, sea creatures or something, some crab or something. So when I look on a CV because I look on a Wikipedia. No.
Not Wayne. Not like some pastors and bishop who was doctor before they went buy. They never go on school to get the doctorate.
All right. So when we are looking at CV, we are looking at it right down this because we have the evidence of what we are going with. And if they want to bring it, we just make it come down, bring it, and then we just fling it out there. We gotta tell you which one of them palm dirty or with dirty and everything too, you know. When we are running it, you know, it at them and they might run up and down, you know. They might run up and down a fire.
Well, I know. You know, one of the things, but I think they're more fearful of that, you know, because if they decide to do local elections or any kind of elections, and then we start say, okay, you know what we are going to do now? We know going to tell the people about the candidates them now. We are going to open up the files them now and start tell people.
And that's some serious hey.
That afraid of.
You know, so I want to take my thing and turn it on. You're so full of beer file. Beer file. Let me turn it on and then drop down. Don't be anything. When they show a police in file, you know, I hear him again and I can go on a bed for people and them think that me have a file. I'm show them. See a file, you know. And then maybe open it for you, you know, you up and down, you know. Them said come back me up.
I think that's what we need to do.
You know, you know, again. Yeah, man, serious.
Anytime them announce them go have an election, I think that as a group, that's what we need to do. We need to start looking at and vet them people out for the people of Jamaica, because when them can't pull the wool over for them eyes, them can't pull it over for we eye.
Ratty, I agree with you, but I want to say there's one other way too. If we make the diaspora understand, and the people of Jamaica, first of all, the government, we are not their servants. They are our servants.
Good.
And then the diaspora, we have to make them understand that we are not recognized in Jamaica as Jamaicans. And we have to stop that. We have to make them understand that we are important to the development of the nation. And we are the only diaspora that is led by a government in the world. No other diaspora, you check it out, has a government entity running the diaspora. We have to decide to get our own power, get our own resources, and then they'll be afraid. Because
and by the way, Doc, and no disrespect though, but them feels say them run themselves. Because the whole way out here are part in the diaspora, right?
Yeah, but I think
let me tell you something. You see what them are do? Because we now link up with them, you know, and we contribute to Jamaica tremendously. We do so much things for Jamaica, and we now go to them neither. We now talk to them because them are crosses, yeah. And we on a serious note, we now be with them. We just do our thing, yes, man.
But Wayne, what you don't understand, you know, when it comes down to election within the diaspora, the Minister of Foreign Affairs appoint, am I wrong, Dr. Francis? Appoint who they want to appoint as Tira and Nira.
Yeah, but what we're not saying is we're not saying that that's a minority. That are just the 20-something people with them control.
And we not them recognize. Remember we there, so you know. Remember this man that we learn this, but we go back look our CV, you know. So me have millions of followers around the world.
Yes.
Oh, me I make them 27. They me not recognize them. Me not want to see them.
Wait. What I'm trying to say to you,
yes,
we have to be able to get our people to operate as one entity, you know, because if we do not, they cannot see the strength of the diaspora.
So what I want to say to you now, Doc, it's not like the government are going to put for them people and we're going to listen to them. No,
we're not.
Them not dictate to us. We as a body are drawing our people and we say, okay, this is what we are offer, this is what we are doing because we are doing it already in Jamaica. Don't give me no Andre Marks. Remember just call name. Mark said go or what have you. We don't need that. You know, pick your 27 where you want pick. It no works for we. You understand? It's like you're there Jamaica and be there East Kingston and me have a club. And you have a club and them have a club in your we don't mind. But no, you can't pick a 27, you the government and pick and say, oh, this is the diaspora. No, we are part of the diaspora.
Well, that's what
a vital role in this. Not the 27, not puppet. We not work a puppet.
Wayne, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Okay, good.
Because you and I are saying, all I'm saying is The diaspora itself must run itself, not the government of any country. That's all I'm saying.
Well, listen, Miss Hudson just said good night to us because she's been watching and she said she's tired. So, Miss Hudson, thanks for watching on behalf of Mr. Jeffrey Tavares. I don't think he saw the message.
Yeah, I saw that. I told her good night.
Okay, but let me tell you something now. You see, with this diaspora thing, if you notice, it's just now the government start talk about diaspora and mention diaspora since them see the uprising, since them see people like the man in the wilderness, them see the rebel, them see the defender, them see the herb, them see you doc, them see some other people. It's just now you hear them start mention. So what we have to do now is the little puppets with them appoint. We need to just make our movement and go. If they want to come along, fine. But if they don't want to stay and be puppet, we moving forward. We are going to get the people in Jamaica to the point which part them understand what going on and that them do exactly what them are doing now, because we are preachers for a while, so the people are supposed to rise up legally, peacefully, but rise up.
Right. Look at now. So we have the show of Saturday. The amount of people, I remember in Jamaica, we are link up at thousands of people. Might have come link up one place and that's 27 now, will we? We'll keep a show Saturday.
Yeah.
But we have the 2-day festival that are thousands of people again, and then people link up from all about every day. My phone coming out the White House phone, them, So the 27 not joke. When people are called, we all over the place. Some things when we move them, no move, man. So that's how we say we don't recognize them. We recognize them.
Yes, Wayne, I hear you. I know it's there. But on what Ratty is saying, I want to take note of that. We have to formulate ourselves into such a group that they cannot break us. You see, one stick you can break, but 1,000 sticks you can never break, or even 12 pencil, you can't even break it, no matter how strong you are. So that's what I'm saying to you.
You're right.
Understand, because we're now talking, you're in one section of the continent, we're in another. We have people, brothers and sisters in England. I mean, you'll be surprised to know how effective, but you have naysayers, you have people who they pay to go and discredit us. But unfortunately, they can't find anything like we can find on us, like we find on them.
Good.
And that's the issue they have. So they're going to continue, because I wouldn't even bother to mention the ambassador, because the fact of the matter is, or anybody like that, okay, because there are other players as well. There are people up here who are doing things in Jamaica, but they're doing it on the behest of the government because they're benefiting. Their family members are benefiting, okay? That is why you can have a situation whereby we are importing more than we are exporting. And then look at it this way, they are now thinking of going to buy marijuana products from Canada. Right?
So Abil come out and say, nobody me know say me attacking, okay, I know say I rush him. Nobody kill me with this because them are try to address that. But so me not address him yet, Me rush him on that because I rush them about that.
He went as far as Mr. Lonesome. I'm gonna answer the question from Freedom. He went as far as said that the cannabis licensing department, they are the one who issues license. The government of Jamaica do not dictate to them who issue the license. But we all know who brought in the ganja.
Good. And them tell lie.
For the information pertaining to voting registration.
Yes.
You have to go down to the what the office name again, Mr. Lonesome?
You think which one of them?
Somebody asking.
The one on Duke Street. The one on Duke Street. The one on Duke Street.
No, what them want? A fingerprint office them attack or voting office?
Yes. What the office name again?
EOJ. EOJ, yes.
There's an EOJ office in every constituency. So if you're from Westmoreland, there's one in Savlamar.
Yes.
Depending where in Westmoreland you're from.
You can look it up. Just look it up from parish to parish. And where you live and the closest one to
and from you take up a step, because it said, Jeffrey, where do I find information about voting registration? Many diaspora comes home from months at a time and cannot register to vote.
And can register to vote.
Yes, but so you have to be there when they come back. How many people can go to Jamaica and spend 2 months or a month or 6 weeks? It is impossible. I mean, look how much money when you go to Jamaica you have to spend money in a week. You're broke.
Larry.
Unless you have ratty money or win money or anyone else.
Don't only pile up enough, man. Larry, you see what Larry just said? You see what Larry just said, though?
What I say?
Him said the panel need to set up a fund, get some lawyers and challenge the government in courts, lawsuit after lawsuit. Every day they do something.
You want to come right now, you should see
what
man.
That's what I say.
Yeah, man.
And tie them up in our court. Tie them up in our court.
And as I said on my program yesterday, today's what, Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, today. I said it's time for the government, for the people of this country to put a lawsuit against Desmond McKenzie and the Labour Party government with this local government election. It can't continue like this. The Prime Minister.
One second. You remember we had my dear friend, the deputy mayor from Montego Bay, right? He came on. I remember when we talk about it, he said constitutionally it's supposed to be every 4 years. However, there's a statute that says that if you have extraordinary circumstances, you can delay it. And then when we asked him about it, he said the delay was caused by COVID. Well, today in a parliament, the Minister of Finance, write it down someplace, him said, we're done with COVID.
COVID done.
So I wrote back the man. I wrote back the good official, and I said to him, "Say you cannot use as excuse no more. You cannot use it." The minister just said, "We have overcome COVID. We're done with COVID." So
listen to me. Listen to me. You know what? Listen. You start that. You know what I tell you something. I want to burn them out of coming here to raise money for election. I would have liked.
You burn them out. This is the forum. Burn them out. I mean you want burn them out.
What know? I want them come back, come talk about, and them know who me talking about. Them want money for election. My God, I tell you something. They wouldn't like to know what I would do, because I am telling you, we must.
Then say no, man. Signal the plane to them now.
Okay, no, hold on. They must listen to me. I have never seen people so rich to come beg poor people for money to go run election. Let's not go into that. How on God's earth you can have so much money and you come ask me for money? Man, I tell you something. Over the past few years, I vexed with myself. Vexed.
Well, you talk about vex. Let me just say something, Let me say something as well. Me vex, because my program name Reason Tratigan, where we come on and we have a decent discussion and reason. And every week, me invite the politician them, all of them invite from Minister Morgan all the way up and all the way down. Them not come from my program. But them go pan win program and win bomb them all.
Win. Hey. Where I get, because me want some win. Me work down and broke, win. Because that them was the next thing. I say, boy, I give me brother win some of the money, You tell them
that way me do wrong. You want that way me do wrong,
Tell them say your Western Union don't work.
No, but when I see you set up the Western Union, my bun out, Me bun them out for 2 man.
Why is it that Herb Nelson is so quiet?
I was reading this interesting thing from Luke George, and I don't think anybody picked up on it.
Yeah, I saw it. We mean
talking about addressing the revision of the Constitution.
Yes.
With everything we're talking about, that is underway. How do we know what input we can give as a diaspora?
Right.
We can't.
Right? Can we? We can't.
We're Jamaican nationals. We are Jamaican nationals. So why we can't?
No, listen to me. Let me tell you something, guys, and understand it. We are absolutely nothing to many Jamaicans, especially politicians. We are nothing, and they want to keep us as nothing. The only thing they want from us is our remunerations, our to Jamaica. That's what they want.
So Doc, I could tell you something. As long as they win them out, so them know say we are more than something. Them are nothing. We are telling the people them say, listen, as politicians, we don't come here so we don't be able to save. That's why we rush them, because they are servant of the people. And from we get that out to the people. Remember the people I talk to, we don't see a bug life, The misinformation, minister. Yeah, me hear that. Come up and I say, people stop listening to the local radio now and what have you, social media. And him start on social media and talk about bloggers. Him a number one blogger. Him. We do human rights activist work, him do blogging.
But
and them pack lie on top of lies, so make them go on with them foolishness. So let me tell you this, we are all them accountable. You notice when we say, hey, boycott them, you notice the government, Andrew Jonathan say, if it was some politics, but this is serious implication, because them listen.
But another thing, Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
It can't be that they're talking about Jamaica going away from the Queen, from the King, and they have a constitutional minister, and they have a committee, and it cannot be that they don't involve the diaspora in that committee.
But
cannot be.
How
can we change in the constitution and it's not a public thing? How can you be? What are the factors that you are using to change the constitution? I thought we need a referendum to change the constitution.
Yes, they're going to go for no. Hold on here. They're going to go for a referendum. You know. What they're doing now is to get the PNP people on board with them. They're having a group. But what I don't understand, within that group, how is it that they can't have a Herb Nelson Jr., a Dr. Rupert Francis, or a Wilfred Radigan? Forget about me and Wayne, because we are too rebel. You see? And put it on the panel and say, okay, we're going to have you people to come and say X, Q, Y, Z. We cannot have the same people who continue infringing on the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people draft our constitution.
But you know what we need to do? You know what we need to do? We need to get the funds together. It takes money for the mayor to gallop. We need to get the funds together in a properly organized institution, appoint our legal people that we can trust, both from the Commonwealth, because they can't stop anybody from the Commonwealth. Remember that? Because they are allowed in Jamaica. So therefore, and to get them to investigate and to go and operate on our behalf and sue them for lack of transparency. That's 100, what we need.
100% with that. 100. Right now, we're drop a lawsuit, you know. I want to soon see by the week for done. We're not ready to talk about it yet, Jeff. Got a draw from everything. You got to get it, right? So when we talk, them have to think I drop lawsuit from my brethren, where international artists before and them thing they are settling. So them know say me a serious man when me talk, me no make joke. So me I drop a lawsuit because me have to uproot a tree them when they're supposed to sit down in that chair there. You understand? So me I can jerk them up. Wait when it drop, man. It will drop. Well, wait when it drop. Yeah?
No, let me tell you something.
Tune it. Yes, man.
By the way,
after that one the drop, you just said about dead man, him for look out next. Cause me never am we just go through this. Dead man.
Who is dead man?
No, the local government minister. Oh, you know like him my own name. Hey, you have to make Jeffrey.
You know, you see some people.
Jeffrey,
you know, sometimes, gentlemen,
yes.
let me tell you something. One thing I've done, and all you know, my background, I don't have to hide it at all. And the fact of the matter is this:
we're seeing it.
Okay, but it's dark around there now. It's dark.
No. I haven't seen
dark.
it.
Them kind of dark. Anyway, me not care. Me believe
that.
Hold on. Me believe that equal rights and justice to everybody, not some people. Okay, so me not care where you want to call me. Right? Me born in a PNP, serving in the Labour Party, and me are proud and serving in the military. I have no. I mean, my friend born in around the sun.
Yes, because we have not drive the Jeep to, you know.
No, exactly. But the point I'm trying to make is this: fear is fear. Yes. You can't want to drink water and you for drink dirty water. Clean water and you drink dirty water. Yeah. I don't believe in that. Right? And hold on. There's one thing. Listen, when you don't laugh, I believe that people who really love Jamaica speak like we do. How many people that up at 11:20 in the evening I chat about other people's business when if it wasn't our business? You're good. Mind your joke. I can't come help you. Understand me? So listen to me now. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, we have to land the plane because we have to land the plane. Me have to grab my bed. Me an old man. But the fact of the matter is that, tomorrow is another day. Me have to do 2 more to tomorrow. But let me say this to you. We are, Jeffrey, behave yourself. We are committed. This man is over there. We are committed to our cause, and they must not divide us. You know, many people, you know, one thing about me and Ratty, they will come and say, boy, man comes and say, Ratty, I already know. And then come to Ratty and say, Francis, I already know. Me say, you know what me tell them? Say, me say, if Ratty did say my I already know, come tell me personally, so go ahead. Go ahead.
The man said, the man
idiot.
What you mean? What you mean, people? What you mean?
Yeah.
What you mean?
So me no business, me take back to them know that. Okay.
Sure.
You know, buy me out.
Man, I'm not saying I take back talk. Yes,
no, sir. So we have the green screen behind because I'm afraid.
And a signal plane and driving the Jeep.
What? Me pay me dues. Me pay me dues almost 40 years. Me pay me dues. You understand me? So me can talk. Okay? I say that the people of Jamaica deserve better governance. Okay? And they deserve better governance, and they must stop being heady. You can't you can't go lock up a man because he tell you about your BC or your RC or your whatever. See? So we can lock him up for that. I show him I'm talk. He's not trouble you.
But you know something, Dr. Francis?
What?
It's because the people of Jamaica do not know their fundamental rights.
No.
It is your right. It is your right to criticize or not to criticize the Prime Minister. And any DBDB police officer who believe that they can come and find me under my bed because me said something about the Prime Minister. I am not going to disrespect him, but the fact of the matter is you can't criticize him.
The point I'm trying to make is this, man. That is the move of an authoritarian person. True. Anybody who because let me tell you something. You know, listen to me. You must be able to take criticism. Look, you know what is ironic? I see them saying all of whole heap of things about Trump and whole heap of this about Trump. I say, Trump dead. What I know, man. Me finish this one, and them me say, boy, Trump gone now with all of this Trump. Me right it every time they say something bad about Trump, it gets stronger. So I'm wondering if when name PM Holdings is just another Trump. Every time they say something, it gets stronger.
As you talk about the PM, so let me just bring up one quick point here. You know, Maria, I'm like Peanut Dread, right?
Yes.
Who's that?
And the Prime Minister, you see me go finish up Peanut Dread house because Peanut Dread big him up. That is the way we are doing business now?
Man, it's a goddamn disgrace.
That's how we are going to do business now. That will be got the Prime Minister with the 12 sticks.
And look, man, but here where man do know. You say, oh, man, I'll fix up this, but use the platform and talk to the youth them for me and tell them for do good. You cannot do that. You were the Prime Minister, you just spend 170 billion, say you fight crime and you come with all hardware and then you look at the little man and tell him for using platform. You think that's a disco?
And you're going to fix up him.
Goddamn disgrace. A taxpayer money back. So you tell him for using platform. Soon come tell you, Jeffrey, use the platform for me and do this for me.
Tell me if you do that. And signal the plane.
Signal the plane, yes. Signal the plane. Listen to me now. You'll get me in trouble now. Listen to me now. Let me tell you something. I have somebody who's been around me for 30 plus years. And I have to respect that, so I better run out there.
It is now 11:25, gentlemen. We have been at it from 8 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, man. The plane has a signal now, so
we need to signal the plane and wrap up. Your final word, Dr. Rupert Francis.
Hopefully, it's not my final. I went through.
You have to signal the plane before you come on. Signal the plane and drive the Jeep.
I'm going to. But Ratty said something. You know, we're talking and we had a show. We'll wait until the time, and I had to leave to go on a plane.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, after them semi-final, I said, "What the rest of them matter about my final? No, something else next week." But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that, gentlemen, I enjoy sharing with you, and we must continue the movement. We must not stop. We must work together and establish institutions that are impenetrable, right? Me and Herb can fight like puss and dog sometimes. And see how silent to me. See Herb there? Watch him. Let me tell you something. Me and him fight, but guess what happened? He respect me and me respect him. Right, Herb?
Yes,
True.
sir.
So I'm
But
just
we have to
telling you.
signal the plane.
All right, man. So me go now. So I want to thank you very much for accommodating me. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. Please continue to write, continue to interact with Wayne, Ratty, Herb, and the Mr. Tavares. And ladies and gentlemen, we will achieve our goals. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Sir Herb Nelson Jr., your final word to your people, your
Yes.
countrymen that you love so much.
Blessings to the people and to this panel. I don't know where I would be without you guys' support these last few months. But one thing I'll say to you is this. The fact that we can take anybody to court that is not doing right by the people of Jamaica is a standard that we need to set, and we need to be hard and fast with it. And it needs to be rapid fire. That means whatever comes up, if we can find the funding to get the paperwork filed and to force these folks to take things to court, like the DPP and the results from the Integrity Commission. You know, the two things. They're making it appear as if the Integrity Commission is the bad guy here. They were investigating the bad guy, and they got all this information on the bad guy. And then they turn around and they flip the script. Somebody leaked the report, and they're saying, oh, the Integrity Commission leaked, and the Integrity Commission did this and did that. So the Integrity Commission must be the bad guy. No, the bad guy is still the bad guy. He's the one that influenced the contracts, and there's no statute of limitation out there on it. Right? So regardless of what they have to say about that, he is the bad guy. Fast forward to the lady, what's that lady in the SSL that they just arrested?
Panton.
Jean Panton, right? Jean Panton can only account out of 40 people whose accounts been, money's been withdrawn, and they've lost their funds. She might account for maybe 10. So they're trying to paint her again as that bad person. So if you notice the tactic with the Integrity Commission is the same tactic with Jean Panton. We're going to keep her in jail. She's so dangerous. We're going to keep her locked up. Well, 2012 till now, you're about 10 years shy. So the bottom line is they want to paint the bad guys to us in the diaspora and to the people of Jamaica. People of Jamaica must realize who the real bad guys are. And if they don't realize it, if we can keep filing suit, and if we can ask for this fiat from this DPP to take on the bad guys that's responsible for this bogus contracting, we need to do it. We need to show them up. And the only way we're going to show them up is if we can get them in deposition where they have to sit and be deposed before we get them in court. That's if the judge is going to allow us to take it to court. That's if they don't have influence over the judges as well. So we're going to see how well the system works once you tackle the problems within the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Nelson. You know something, gentlemen? They can keep Jean Panton in prison, in jail for now. But yet Royal Reed is scotch-free.
Yes.
And Andrew Wheatley is scotch-free. And all the rest who put their hand in the public kitty is scotch-free. Want to see what's going on in our country? Mr. Lonesome, your final word, sir.
Final word. Herbert said the bad guys. I call them the fake. The fake guys and fake girls. strike 5, fake public defender, DPP, fake. She need for Katrina Santa. She need to leave her lawsuit she too. Me I'm gonna tell you another joke me I make. Google Gaga need to leave. You might get a lawsuit. Definitely might get a lawsuit. Jeffrey, you're a good friend. What name? Brooks. How for good friend?
Rocky good friend, man. My good friend.
Him a fake cop.
I think
Yes.
you say I get a lawsuit too.
No, if him stay, I get a lawsuit too. Him a fake cop. Him shouldn't have the right.
What about your friend Desmond?
No, him a forget dead man. Him definitely have to get lawsuit. And no joke, nothing like that. But me I start from 1 and then we're gonna run it, go right across. Because we're for all them accountable and no joke we make. They might have see we laugh and no say them no see what we you know. So when we laugh and no joke nothing. It's when the first suit drop and it just start to cashier through the whole place. They might realize, hey, as some serious the people they don't know. We never put them. They might run the diaspora. Just watch. Wait before the week finish out. Yeah? We just want the first one drop and then we start the rest. Yeah? Because we have for all government accountable and not too way about it. And the lies and the cans and we have to recover back some of them money. And with Gene Panton, escape ants. And as you just say, I know not even the man who have man dead in him house, same back brother like 10 sharp shutter. Them no look pan man now, Patrick, Bailey. You notice everybody will go around the Prime Minister, them just walk free. You notice? Including World Greed, sorry. Cruel greed. Because anybody who pitney, you know it go. Education thing, we not play with that. We not play with that. You understand? We not play with that. You notice how them just walk up and down free? Anybody and the Prime Minister friend, I hear something, nothing. Because them put in a Google caca when they arrest nobody. And them have a straight 5 when they carry nothing against nobody. So them forget lawsuit, we have to move them. And remember, when we move them now, who are going in, we have to investigate them and make sure lock them up. Them forget lock up too. You understand? I'm not joke me I make. Serious thing. Yeah? Meal to my brother Radigan.
I'll be very brief because I can't add not more to the previous speakers and my brethren themselves. And the only thing I'm going to tell the Jamaican people is this. Listen to your politician what them say. But pay attention to what we are doing. That's all I can say. Listen to what them are saying now. Don't follow what them are saying. Just listen to what them are saying. And then you pay attention to where we, this panel, where we are doing. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Wilfred Radigan, Wayne Lonesome, Dr. Rupert Francis, His Excellency Herbert Nelson Jr. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. My final word to my fellow Jamaicans. For all those cares who has been our concern, the work goes on, the cause endure. The hope still lives, and the dream for a better Jamaica shall never die. May God bless you, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Until you hear our voice again, have a very good night from all of us on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Good night, everyone. God bless.
Good night. God bless. God bless.